feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan, your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the fucking hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour, take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder, work until you're prouder. And fuck all the doubters, they're just fucking downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm pissed off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. What's up, my paranormal soldiers? How is everybody? If you are here to hear some Conjuring drama, facts, fiction, please put the thumbs up in the comments. How is everybody doing? Hello, Chris Brew. I was reading your comments. Very smart person. Welcome. Hello. Hey, Rosside, how are you? What's up, Diane? Kiwi, I see you. Mama Llama is in the room tonight. How you doing, girl? Crazy reality show. I don't know how to say your first part of the name there, but hello. What's up, Diane? How are you? Lurking spirits, I see you. How's everything going over there? Old Cambria County Jail. You know, I just can't get that name right or say it fast enough. These lights, got them all set up wrong tonight, but I don't care. What's up, Central Mass Paranormal Society? Thank you for the platform you let me use tonight to do my live. Everybody say hello to Central Mass Paranormal Society. You know who that is. Lady Darkwood Victoria, my co-host for Paranormal Chatter. What's up, Parasolo? He's been in here since like 7 o'clock waiting on me. What's up, Jim? How are you? If I missed anybody, I am sorry. I'm scrolling back. Here we go. Hello, hello. Anybody new? Hello, hello. Debunk the junk. How are you? We're gonna scroll back down to the bottom, guys. What's up, Kara? How you doing tonight? Hope you're feeling better. I am feeling better. At times I'm better. At times I'm not. It all depends on whatever my heart feels like doing. Hello, Leanna Allen. Welcome in. Everybody go show Leanna. I hope I said it right. Go give them a subscribe. Go subscribe to the channel. They are new. Welcome to Bad to the Bone Paranormal. Leanna, we are just a paranormal team. Sometimes I do some lives, debunks, whatever. Just have a good time. Hey, Heidi, how are you? Heidi, that's new. Joanne, how are you? Glad to hear. Hi to Exploring with Josh too. Hello, Exploring with Josh. I didn't see him come in. Are you meaning Exploring with Jason? With Jason? Hold on, guys. Let me get a fucking drink. So hello. If you guys could do me a favor and go share this. Go share this because I have some shit that I want to say. The first thing I want to say is that light is in my eyeball and I can't really even see myself on camera. But I always hit the wrong buttons and then I fuck it up even worse. So I don't know. And if anyone is new here, excuse my language. That's just who I am and how I am. And I like to say the F word a lot. Thank you, Ross-eyed Paranormal. Mama Llama says, oh, bring in the shit. I don't know. What I'm bringing might get me some shit. I'm just bringing some stuff. Hello, hello. So, yeah, I hope you guys like the intro song. Did someone say fart? I hear something, but it's going down the staircase. Maybe my cats are on the staircase playing. We have a very old home, so yeah, it's the cats. They're playing. Fuck yeah, says Kara. Hello. Hey, guys. So I'm going to give it a few minutes and then I'm going to start talking about what I want to talk about concerning Jacqueline Nunez from the Conjuring house. What F word? So you guys all know Wisdom. Wisdom makes all these great tracks and dedicated to the paranormal and to debunkers and just people that Wisdom enjoys watching on YouTube. Well, he made me a song. He did, he did, he did. My day was good, Jason. Sorry, guys, I had to burp. So if you guys want to hear that song real quick, someone please put a thumbs up. Clutching my pearls because of your language. You better fucking clutch them really hard because I'm gonna run past you and steal them too. No, I'm just playing. Just playing. Yes, I'm having a good day today, actually. All right, guys. So I am gonna play it. Says Mama Llama. It came out really good. I wish Wisdom was in here. Wisdom, are you in here? Let me scroll the fuck up and see if Wisdom is in here. Wow, that's a lot. I've never had this many people at one time. Well, yeah, I think I had 95 at one time. So, um, all right, I'm gonna play it. Hold on. I don't have Carl, my producer, here tonight because this was just spur of the moment. Instead of doing the video, I decided to go live. So let's play the song. I think I go over here to Brand. Oh my god, I should have called Carl. Here we go. Play. Maybe if I play it, you'll hear it. If you guys can hear it, someone put their thumbs up in the comments. Can you guys hear it?
Shadows flicker, things go bump in the night. Angelina hunts the truth, fakers take flight. Debunking all the tapping, that too many condone. She's here to prove it's fake, until the cover is blown. Bad to the bone, bad. Bad to the bone, paranormal. Bad to the bone, bad. Bad to the bone, paranormal. Out investigating, she's also looking for proof. Is there life after death, or is it all just a spoof? Equipped with her gear, out to explore, debunking as she goes, no less, no more. Bad to the bone, bad. Bad to the bone, paranormal. Bad to the bone, bad. Bad to the bone, paranormal.
Yeah, I love it.
Fake sounds, bones knocking, not some ghost tap. Not sitting behind the response of some app. Things that move can all be explained. Don't just jump to paranormal, that would be insane. Bad to the bone, bad. Bad to the bone.
I wish I knew how to sing.
Bad to the bone, bad. Bad to the bone, paranormal. 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 It's unravel. She breaks all the chains, looking for truth. In fake
Hi, John.
paranormal claims, nothing is hidden within her domain. She's bad to the bone, paranormal. Angelina's her name. Bad to the bone, bad. Bad to the bone, paranormal. Bad to the bone, bad. Bad to the bone, paranormal. Paranormal.
Yeah, that was great, huh, guys? Can you guys hear me? I think so. That was great. When Wisdom sent me that, I was like, holy shit. No way. No way. I love it. I love it. Hey, Allison, how are you? I saw someone else come in. Hello, Susan Edwards. How are you? You guys can hear me, someone give me the thumbs up because I have no co-host, nobody with me. Susan, if you're awake and you want to come in, great song. Sup, y'all? Hi to the chat. Rossa, you can hear me? Okay, perfect. Hold on, guys. Let me check my message and then we're gonna get started. I am lurking in the chat. Just uh thank you, Wisdom. Stop lurking in the chat, Wisdom. Thank you, Wisdom, for the song. I really, really like it. I listened to it like 20 times in a row the first day you sent it. I'm going to make a little video to it. I love it. All right, guys. So let's get to what I want to talk about. If you guys are over here commenting, I'm not going to be reading them because I just want to say what I got to say. And then I'm going to bring somebody up at some point and we'll start taking questions. So hold your questions till I say throw out your questions. So I'm going to be, maybe, I hope I don't fuck up, but I'm going to be throwing out some stuff that people might not be happy about. But anyway, bear with me because I don't have Carl or Susan with me, and I always fuck up these buttons really bad. So, well, we'll see. Where should we start? Oh God, where should we start? So this is where we should start. I don't know where we should start, guys. Hold on. Hello, wisdom. They're saying hello. So everyone knows Cody Satori started being debunked last year sometime, whenever, I don't fucking know. And then all of a sudden they're not working at the Conjuring House. Then all of a sudden they alert the public through social media that they are no longer working at the Conjuring House. And not just Cody Satori, but Jen and Corey and the whole group of everyone that came out. Aaron, Bush, Reed, Brian, Steve, all of them. And then all of a sudden, all this drama starts, and Jacqueline's making statements, and they're crazy, but sometimes they make sense because sometimes when she writes some of her statements, I can tell that she's telling people off through history. And yeah, sometimes they do make sense. But she's sending all these statements out that are crazy in some people's eyes. Some of them are, some of them aren't. She's inboxing Jason Hawes, the old staff. She's talking a lot of shit in these emails, but yet people are getting pissed off because we're not actually seeing who the email's coming from. Some states will not allow you to show an email, even if someone sends you the email, and you show that email address, you can get prosecuted. So I learned that. So maybe that's why they're not showing it. I'm not sure because I don't know from state to state because my stupid ass didn't specifically check Rhode Island. I'm so stupid. But anyway, and then you guys remember when Jason said he got trespassing warrants or whatever the fuck against her, stay away from the property, stay away from him, all this bullshit. And he kept kind of, in my opinion, going after her on social media. Come on my podcast, Jacqueline. Come on. I don't even have to be there. I don't even have to talk. You can talk to my buddy Jay. And then he goes and puts the apology letter the next day, or the apology video. And, you know, says, we're just not going to answer no more. We're just going to ignore her, blah, blah, blah. My whole fucking point is, I recently found out and have apologized before I found this out and it was confirmed. I apologized to Jacqueline for the videos that I put up and where I spoke about her. Did I speak about her mental health? Absolutely not. Did I speak about her in a negative way, like being talked about now? No. I basically kind of poked at her for believing in the Katori Empire. That's kind of what I did. And Jacqueline replied back to me and thanked me. And I even took down 2 videos and told her that I was going to do that. I have told Jacqueline many things that, and I've kept to my word, such as I've never told anyone the conversation Jacqueline and I had when she called me and Mythos out in her first statement. Jacqueline has always been very nice to me, extremely nice to me when we have talked via text message. I haven't been to the Conjuring House. I haven't met Jacqueline in person. I haven't talked to her physically on the phone. We have talked through Facebook Messenger. So to the people who say that I have talked to her on the phone and I have met her and all this other, fuck you. Yeah, fuck you. Show me the proof. So anyway, I recently found out, and it is probably everyone kind of just knew, that Jacqueline, and I hope she doesn't get mad for me saying this. I know she's having a hard week. I know some stuff went down at the Conjuring House, and I'm praying for Jacqueline. Jacqueline does have a mental illness. She does. I don't know if I can say what type of mental illness she has. Um, so therefore, I'm not going to say it. And it doesn't need to be said because the point is she has a mental illness. Her current staff that works there that have not been there as long as the Katori Empire and Corey and Jen and everyone I complained about her, Aaron Bush, all them people. I'm going to stop saying their fucking names because it makes me want to vomit in my mouth. Um, knew way before they resigned that Jacqueline had mental health issues. That can, I believe that 100% through talking to other employees and other customers and people who work there. Tonight, I'm going to share with you two statements, one from an employee, a former employee, not from the first group that left, and one from a customer that spends an awful lot of time at the Conjuring House, an awful lot of time. So, Jacqueline has a mental illness. It is believed by me and other people that the people who quit knew about this, and instead of telling people straight out she has a mental illness, they make up other excuses and basically say, to me, they make her sound like she's the biggest bitch in the fucking world. That's what it sounds like to me. And instead of having human compassion, they go on the internet and bash her name, which I don't understand. I don't understand why they did that. They knew she had a mental health issue and they go on the internet and talk shit about her. That's just my opinion. Everything I'm saying here is my opinion. And the two, I'm bringing up someone who just left the Conjuring House. And I don't think it's her opinion because she worked there, right? Because everybody believes Cody and Satori and Aaron Bush and Stephen Reed and everybody else. So we should believe the person I'm going to be bringing up after I play their statement. But the whole point of this fucking live is I believe that they are exploiting Jacqueline's mental illness. I absolutely fucking believe that. I could sit here for hours and tell you guys everything and every reason that makes me believe that, and all the research that I've done, and all the messages and videos, and just everything I got. And you would think the same thing too. But I'm not going to do that because I don't have that much fucking time. And I get really pissed off. I'm like really pissed off. Like Jacqueline's not doing well right now. And I'm super fucking pissed off that people are in fucking human and are talking shit about her on the fucking internet. That's disgusting. It's disgusting. I don't care what the fuck Jason Haas says or the Katori Empire or Aaron Bush or anybody. They knew she was sick. Jacqueline Nunes has a caretaker, for God's sakes. They're sitting there crying about she wasn't here. We couldn't run the business. She wasn't here. The American dream is to own a fucking business and have employees so that you can sit at home or do whatever the fuck you want and you don't have to be there and you're just making that fucking money. That's just how I feel. But they knew Jacqueline had a mental illness way prior to resigning. And there's a lot more that I got to say about this shit too. And that's probably going to come out in a video. But anyway, I know you guys are waiting for the statement. I am going to show you, I put it in video form, the statement from the former general manager, Tara Finn. I put it in video form because it was too long. And with my heart issue right now, I'm thirsty all the time. So like right now I'm super thirsty. So hold on. I'm going to play. I made a little AI video with an AI voice with Tara's statement. So I want you guys to all listen to this with some human compassion and understand that Tara, who so kindly has been in touch with me, she's a beautiful woman, beautiful, beautiful lady, has compassion for her fellow human. She got accused of stealing $60,000, not 9,000, 60 fucking thousand. Fucking crybaby fucking Brian crybaby. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, I'm gonna play her statement. It's an AI voice generated. I told her that I was gonna do that. She gave me permission to do that. So I'm gonna play that. Then I'm gonna come back. And when I come back, I'm gonna bring Tara up. She's either gonna come on video or she's just going to be talking. So it's about 4 minutes and 43 seconds long. So guys, please really listen to what she says.
It is with great sadness that I make this statement. My name is Tara Finn, and I am the former general manager of the Conjuring house and the most recent employee to be fired. Jacqueline claims that I have conspired with our booking vendor to allow them to steal over $60,000 from her. As her revenue reflects the $60K loss season 2 season for October, according to her, I have not seen her books. First and foremost, not only would I never do that to her or her business, but also I do not even have the system access to do that if I wanted to. She refused to sit down and have me show her what I do and do not have the ability to do through our system. I also have the utmost confidence in Fair Harbor and do not for 1 minute believe that they would do this. By all accounts, they operate with integrity, and in fact, I have worked closely with them to troubleshoot issues to support and benefit Jacqueline and her business. During my time at TCH, she was the most kind, caring, beautiful human being to work for. I never had issues with being paid on time, nor did I have any personality conflicts with her. In fact, quite the opposite. Hugs, words of gratitude, generosity, and praise were the norm. She often referred to me as family, and in kind, I treated her as family. I worked as a liaison with law enforcement when they visited. I gave her rides home from medical stays and in general cared for her as one would, offering food, helping with her laundry, caring for her pets, etc. The simple fact of the matter is that Jacqueline is having a mental health crisis. Her brain is telling her stories that simply are not true. There is no malice, con artistry, or fakery that is happening. It is only the illness that is coming out. Jacqueline has little to no support system, and although I have heard rumors of one sibling, I have never met them, communicated with them, nor ever seen them at TCH to help her. Add the vicious emails she receives on a regular basis. I know. I was also the admin, the constant hate videos on YouTube, and people calling in animal welfare checks and well checks on her personally, only add to the tremendous stress, confusion, and paranoia in her brain. I am making this statement not because I believe I was treated fairly, but because I believe she is not being treated fairly either. This is a no-win situation. However, I understand that empathy and caring does not drive clicks the way scandal does. I believe that hashtag boycott the Conjuring will not help the issue, but actively harm it. Removing the ability for the business to make money and thus let her pay medical care that she needs does not solve the problem. Bankrupting her does nothing to help her, unless of course you're hoping to swoop in and buy the house from the bank. In my opinion, if you know someone is in crisis and you use them for views, you're the nasty one. There's no amount of emails that I could receive that would make me believe she would act on them, and b. make me turn on her while she is clearly ill. Call me naive. I've slept in the same room as her and never once thought my life was remotely in danger. In a perfect world, I would like to see the court assign a conservator for her. Allow her to continue make money from the business that she has put blood, sweat, tears, and, frankly, money into, while letting someone else manage all of the day-to-day aspects and make the necessary improvements to the home. She adores TCH, and I cannot imagine would allow it to fall under disrepair the way it is if her mind was processing things correctly. I would like to address anyone that I may have been in contact with via email or phone regarding private meet and greets, meetings, merch, or private events. I was terminated Saturday, early morning via a group text, and my access to any communication was cut off immediately. I apologize to anyone who showed up at the house to meet with me, or who has been trying to contact me. It was not my intention to waste your time, ignore you, or be unavailable for you. I have had a handful of local people reach out asking if I am willing to do private investigation events. If you are interested in that, please find me on Instagram at TaraBF. A portion of any fees charged will be donated to mental health awareness and a separate fund I hope to set up to benefit the upkeep of TCH, which is in dire need of some maintenance. I ask everyone to please be kind, especially over the next few months while the Conjuring house is going through a tough time. I do not know how patrons who have paid for events that do not occur will be compensated. I assume the other GM will handle that. I wish only the best for Jacqueline, the current staff, and all of the beautiful people I have met throughout my time there. It was truly my honor to be able to share that beautiful property with so many adoring fans of The Conjuring and to be a part of so many people's bucket list. My heart is forever full from those experiences. Give light, and the darkness will disappear of itself. Desideers Erasmus.
So, guys, I see some of you coming in at a little late, and that's okay. That was a statement made by the former GM who was let go from the Conjuring House about a week or so, or maybe less ago, and accused of stealing $60,000. 60,000 fucking dollars. But yet, she is smart enough and brave enough to say, that's not the Jacqueline that I know. That's the Jacqueline who has the mental illness, and that mental illness is talking to her. Unlike others who get mad over baby bullshit and then go talk shit about Jacqueline on the internet, this employee didn't say anything bad about her, and she got accused of stealing 60,000 fucking dollars. I would go the fuck off. Oh my god, I would blow a fucking cap, and oh my god, I would just die. But she didn't do that. She didn't do that. She did something that the old employees, you guys all know who I'm talking about, should have done and been honest about, because it is 1000% my opinion that they all knew way prior to even getting busted with the Sam and Colby bullshit, that Jacqueline had a mental illness. They all knew. I believe Corey and Jen knew when the house was sold to them. I'm working on someone who I've been talking to who is going to give me some more detail on that. But if that is true, and it is true that all the employees that are talking shit about her now knew 2 years ago that she had a mental illness, what the fuck? What the fuck? Don't tell me you're on the internet exploiting her and using her for monetary gain and clicks and views or whatever fuck you're doing it for. Jason Hawes, you put out a statement today of a review of the Conjuring House. You want Jacqueline to leave you alone, but here you are stalking the reviews and then posting them and telling people it's dangerous to stay away. I'm not saying Jacqueline's not dangerous. She is definitely not in her right mind, and she definitely has a mental illness, but she is dangerous mostly to herself. To herself. So Jason Hawes, in my opinion, is playing it up way too fucking much. All of them are playing it way too much. So I'm gonna calm down for a quick second, and I'm gonna bring up Laura, who is a podcaster and does a lot of interviews with the paranormal. She also owns a paranormal magazine, and we're gonna say hi real quick, and then we're going to bring up Tara. Remember, Tara is either gonna come on camera or she's just going to come on with her voice. So first, guys, let's bring up Laura. Laura, you there? Uh-oh. Are you there, Laura?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm like, how come I can't see your picture? Because your audio's on. Guys, you
I'm
know Laura.
here.
Laura from Ross Side Paranormal, how are you? Uh-oh, she can't hear me because I asked her how she
Oh, I'm
was.
doing okay. How are you doing? You look
Uh,
good.
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. I'm having a good day. So I brought you on because as a podcaster and someone who does interviews all the time, what
Oh,
is
oh.
your opinion about what has been going on and then about this ex-employee statement? I think we lost Laura.
Uh,
Oh,
well,
there she is.
I think the woman's very brave to put that statement out there. No, I'm still here. I'm on a delay.
Okay, we got you.
Um, so yeah, I think it's brave of her that she put the statement out there, and letting everybody know that yes, there is mental illness going on. But and as far as what everybody else is doing, if this is true, then they're taking full advantage of the situation.
Right. Is do you are you at a concert?
No,
Oh, I hear myself
what's
back.
going on?
That's what it is. I hear myself back. That's funny. Let's read a comment real quick. Carl, I thought Jason was wrong to say it's easier to prove the paranormal than to disprove it. He should have said, I think it's easier to prove than disprove. Amen, Carl. Yeah, I can hear the feedback. Absolutely. Tough situation if someone dares not to tell the same story. Right. All right, guys. So I'm going to let Laura figure out her audio and I'm going to see if Tara is back there. Now, remember, Tara is the former general manager who was released for supposedly stealing $60,000 or helping someone steal $60,000. Hey, Anna Banana. So, hello, Tara. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Yes, me
Okay.
and Kate Middleton actually have conspired to steal some money from the Conjuring House. And so I
I
feel
thought
kind of honored about that. I don't know.
I thought Kate Middleton was rich.
Yeah, who knows? I mean,
I don't
maybe
know.
the grand is just for me. I don't know. I'm not
All
judging.
right. Well, welcome. Um, in the background, I have Laura. She's an interviewer from Rawside Paranormal who is 100% behind Jacqueline and understands what's going on. And it's not just a girl thing. Hello, Critical Sam. Everybody say, put the fucking video out already, Critical Sam. Put it out. Um, oh, yeah, hold on. That's Laura saying it's very loud.
Yeah, we're waiting.
Is she at a rave? What's
I
happening?
know it sounds like she's at a rave. So
I have
guys, this
no
is
idea.
there you go. Now you're better. Laura, Tara, Tara, Laura. All right. So hello, Ganja Mama. I'm gonna put you or Laura. I don't know Laura's kickback. You got a little bit of
Maybe
kickback.
this will
There you
help.
are. There we go, guys. Look it's Laura.
That didn't help either.
So Tara,
It's not.
let's
It's not
let's start.
helping.
All right. Let's
Oh, maybe he did.
let me get these screens right. I'm terrible at this. I'm very bad at this. Okay. So, Laura, when did you start working at the Conjuring House? I mean, Tara. You got Tara and Laura is going to screw me up.
Oh, I know. Way to mess everything up. So I only started in May. I started at the beginning of May, so I've only been there for I don't know what 6 months, a little bit less than 6 months.
Okay. And how did you hear about the position at the Conjuring House? That's always been a
Uh,
question I've asked. I wanted to know how the people hear
post.
because I never see it advertised.
Yeah, I answered a Facebook post.
Oh, okay.
I loved the Conjuring House. I loved the franchise. I loved the history of the house. I saw there was a Facebook post that they were hiring, and I was like, "Hot damn! I'm gonna apply." And
Yeah.
I probably should have known. I was hired the same day that I applied. I did a tour in the morning. I shadowed 2 tours, and by the third tour, I did the tour. And so that probably should have been red flag, but I didn't care. I love that property so much. I love the house. I love the land, and it was like I was meant to be there.
So, knowing all the controversy, obviously you knew it before you walked into the Conjuring House. You've had heard about the controvery somewhere.
Yeah,
What made you
I heard
still want to
some of
what made
it.
you
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I heard some controversy, but I was like, I, I'm one of those folks that like to like experience it for myself. I mean, you can hear all sorts of crap about things, and so, um, I had heard a little bit about it, and I just thought, whatever, I'm going to see for myself. And my experience was not what it was chalked up to be online at the time.
Did you when you first met Jacqueline, did you have any expectations of, oh my God, is she gonna go flip out and start yelling at me? Is she gonna be with everything that I've heard? What was her demeanor with you? How was she with you the first time you met her?
I mean, not even a little bit the way that you just described. She was the sweetest, most humble person. Um, so grateful to meet me. Uh, said she loved my energy. Said she, loved my aura. Um, she was just kind and sweet and gentle, and that was most of my experience throughout working there, to be honest.
So what were your daily routines when you worked there, and how long would you stay there at a time?
So I started off as just a tour guide, which would be 3 to 4 tours a day. Eventually, pretty quickly, I moved up to, at my choice, to learning the gamping, which is the overnight camping out in the yard.
Yeah, I love
Also,
your Instagram videos and
oh,
your pictures. They're so awesome.
best. um, and then the caretaking stuff. So I would be there, and then eventually it was general manager and admin. So I would be there, um, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, half the day Wednesday as a general manager, which is just making sure that tours were taking place, making sure people were happy, if there was any customers that had problems or concerns or complaints or whatever, making sure staff was there. And then Wednesday night uh, would be like an overnight. Thursday, Friday would be a camping night for me. Saturday night would be a go all night, which is an all night investigation. So I was basically sleeping there probably 4 nights a week at least, um,
Wow.
managing staff, making sure things were being taken care of, making sure guests were happy, and just overall, just making sure that the house was functioning the way that it should be.
So, as being a general manager, is it fair to say that you should not have to call your boss unless that place is burning down?
Oh, 100%. That was my job. My job was to make sure that when there were ghosts, when there were guests there, that I was in charge. I mean, there were no question about it. So whether it was, trespassers coming onto the property, whether it was people that wanted to buy tickets that didn't realize they had to buy them in advance, whether it was a medical emergency, whether it was, someone just showing up and not having an expectation of, you know, having to go up and down stairs or a
Mhm.
rocky, staircase or whatever. Um, yeah, 100%. And there was an instance where there, I mean, there were numerous instances where people would walk into the house and they would get um, either overwhelmed. I had numerous people pass out. I had numerous people
Oh
feel
wow.
headed where we would, get them ice. We had walkies all the time. So there was always someone that would, if I was doing a tour, somebody else would be on the walkie that could go and get ice and bring somebody outside or, whatever it was. And there was a particular instance where there was a younger kid that came into the house. He was dressed in, a very long trench coat, a lot of like goth clothing. Um, it was a hot day. He got overwhelmed upstairs. We decided to call the EMTs because the person that he was with was his friend's dad, and the dad was unsure of like whether he had allergies or anything going on. And so we called, 911. The ambulance came in.
Mm.
They actually asked us to clear the room, and I've seen a lot of things online about Jacqueline saying, Oh, she ran away from the medics. And I'm like, that's obnoxious. That's not an accurate portrayal. EMS actually asked us to all please clean down. It was hot upstairs. They needed room to work. They actually asked the person that was with the boy to also leave the room because they needed space. So
So was that the review where people were saying that Jacqueline was running away from herself being captured by the EMTs or the cops or whatever?
yes, at least I believe that's what people are talking about.
See, guys, this is what you need. You need firsthand accounts. And Tara has a firsthand account of that particular review where people keep saying Jacqueline was running away from the police. It had nothing to do with Jacqueline at all. At all.
We actually
Drama and rumors.
we had two GMs, a caretaker, and EMS staff on the property in addition to her. There was no reason why, frankly, any of us, other than maybe one person with the EMS, needed to be upstairs. It, yeah, it drives me crazy when I see reviews like that. There are some things that happen at the house that are a little bit questionable. That was most definitely not one of them. There is not a scenario I can think of ever where a guest was ever put in any kind of jeopardy, especially a kid,
So this
And as a
most
matter of
recent
fact, when I
review
left
is
that night, Jacqueline was teary, and she was like, "Are you sure he's okay? Are you sure he's okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's okay. He was dehydrated. That's all that they determined to be wrong." And she was like worked up about it. So
that's just see, yeah. You're very welcome, Chris. You're very welcome. So I might jump around with my questions. And Laura, sorry guys, Laura had to go for some reason. It keeps making a lot of white noise. Um, I might jump around on the questions because my brain is scattered. But how long was it before you saw the mental illness side of Jacqueline into your employment?
it was probably a good, I'll say maybe 4 months. I mean, it wasn't until very recently that I started to see real concerns. Um, there were little things. There were little things that were maybe not checking the mail the way that she should be. Um, maybe, uh, just being a little bit more awkward than I would have expected with guests or something. But nothing, anything that would have made me think oh my gosh, she's dangerous or off, but a little red flags here and there as a business owner. Certainly you'd want to check your mail, you'd want to check your email, you'd want to check, you'd want to address if um, police or animal control came to the house with a concern about your dog being loose. That's,
Right.
something you would want to address right away. But really only, probably very recently, the last 2-3 months, it seems to have escalated a little bit.
Now, in your opinion, when Jacqueline puts out, sometimes when she puts out statements, they, in my opinion, they absolutely make sense. And it hasn't been too many of them that make sense. But when she puts out some of these crazy, outrageous Kate Middleton and and soulmates and stuff, do you know when she does that? Do you see a shift in her attitude on those particular days, or or is it a surprise to you when you look on the internet and something's posted by Jacqueline or Jason Hawes is talking about Jacqueline emailed me again?
Yeah, no, and I've said this to the Berthel police as well. There's a definite disconnect between her day-to-day interactions with us and what happens when she's alone and has email and maybe is just alone with her thoughts or something. I can't connect the dots between the day-to-day discussions that I've had with her versus the emails that she sends. And I don't condone the emails that she sends. I've been the recipient of some of them myself recently.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, we could have a perfect day of just, talking about running the business and, normal everyday things. And then I find out after the fact that she sent an email. And I can kind of connect the dots, to be honest, where if we had a conversation about, maybe payroll, or if we had a conversation about scheduling, and then I might be able to see later in the night, like the stress points where she's emailing about, Kate Middleton, but it's Kate Middleton who is attacking her, her booking agency, or attacking her, um, you know, people who are requesting refunds or something. And you can almost, if you look back, see where what we talked about is then being disconnected to something that's, just upset for a reason as to why it's happening. I don't know if that
Yeah, that makes absolute sense. It makes absolute sense. Because it seems like it's quiet for a little while, and then when it goes down for a few days, and then it stops, and it's very quiet for a little while.
right.
So yeah, it totally made sense. So
And I feel like the brain is telling her a story that wants to make sense as to why certain things in her business are happening. And it's not always the right story or a sane story, but it's like she's trying to connect dots. And I don't think that's her fault. I think that's an illness thing.
yeah, and yes, guys, Jacqueline did meet Andrea Perrin when she purchased the house. Andrea Perrin is like white on rice to anyone who ever owns that house. That's all I gotta say about that shit. So you, in your statement, had mentioned that there were times where you picked up Jacqueline from the hospital. You helped Jacqueline. You made sure she ate. You fed her. You walked her animals. You want to tell us a little bit about that? And because, guys, remember, she was accused of helping someone steal $60,000 from Jacqueline Nunez. And during the time Tara and I have talked, she's never said one bad thing to me about Jacqueline. Never. So really pay attention here. So go ahead, you can answer now. I talked to my soldiers for a second.
Thanks. Yeah. Gosh, Jacqueline, you can't work at that house and not, sleep there, you eat there, you live and breathe there every moment. And it's such a beautiful experience. And you can't get to know somebody any other way. And so, Jacqueline and I definitely had a relationship where, if she needed something, I would help her. It was family. I would show up. She would hug me. She would kiss me. She would say, "I'm so happy you're there." There were times where police would show up at the house, and I would talk to them, and I would tour them around, and I would make sure that they understood that there was no, dangerous weapons hidden in the house anywhere, or
Oh,
any
wow.
ridiculous things that they were looking for. I understand that they were, doing their job, but whatever.
Now, why were the police there in the first place? Were they called and reported that there was?
Yeah, they were called. They were called a bunch of
Oh,
times.
God.
There was a point in time where I introduced myself as, I refer to myself as Tara, not Tara.
Sorry,
And
it's a New
although,
England thing. You know that.
no, it's a Mass Rhode Island thing. Trust me.
Exactly. See?
But I did have the authorities to show up and say that, "Oh, you did a well check," and I said, "No, I didn't," and they said, "Oh, it was a person's name that rhymed with Tara," and I said, "Oh no, that's not me. That's somebody else." And so, because they had someone have a well check called in, they had to come into the house, had to see her, they had to make sure she was okay, which is fine. It's probably for the best, to be honest. So they would come in, they'd walk through the house, they'd make sure there were no weapons, they'd make sure there was nothing that was, putting any of the employees at risk or anything like that. And so I was always the one that was there. That just so happened that, it was me. I would bring them in. Okay, here we are, type of thing. There were a few times where she was taken away for mental health reasons, and probably should have been, to make sure that she was okay and taking care of herself. And I picked her up when she was released. The hospital was the one that called me and said, someone's got to come get her. And I certainly wasn't going to say, too bad, so sad, call an Uber. I mean,
right.
I've worked with for so long, who's been so kind to me. And I couldn't imagine not going to pick her up. And so, I did that. And, on the ride home, she was fine. And when she got back, she was fine. And, it's little things that I feel like family does for themselves. You mentioned like eating and making sure she was, had clean clothes and whatnot. Like, we just did laundry. Like, if there was laundry, we just did it. And then we put a little note, this is your laundry, here's your pile. Or, if it was time and, one of us was eating, we'd say, specifically me, I'd say, have you eaten? And if she said no, I'd say, well, let's make some food. Or, oh, you have eaten? Great, that's awesome. What did you eat today? I don't want to infantilize her. I never spoon fed her. She was never a baby. She always took care of herself. But there was always, like, kind of in the back of my mind, that feeling of like, all right, I just make sure, did she have lunch? All right, great, did, perfect. If she didn't, maybe I'll just offer to make her some of whatever I'm having,
like her guardian angel. Are you really here? Are you real? You guys seen Tara, right?
I've been dead
Tara.
for 75 years. So no, I mean, it's not like, it's what I like to think anyone would do for any other human being, to be perfectly honest. And if you're the person that could exist in a home with someone and think for 1 minute, like, I don't give a shit whether they ate lunch. I don't give a shit whether they have clean clothes. I don't care if the litter box that the cats that she has is scooped. Like, then that's just gross. I mean, I don't know. I don't have any words for those kind of people, to be honest.
So when you did things like that for her, was she appreciative of that?
Oh, 100%. I would not have worked there. I'm not a moron. I mean, I love the house. I love the business, but I'm not a stupid woman. Like, I could not have showed up there and done things like, scoop a litter box, or, make sure that what the trash was taken out, if I wasn't being paid and if I wasn't being appreciated, like, plain and simple. And, to me, it was just a part of normal everyday living at a home. Like, if the trash has to go out, you take the trash out. If you have a litter box, you scoop the litter box. But it was always met with, like, love and kindness and appreciation. I can't describe it any other way. I mean, she was constantly saying, thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for, making sure the house is running. Thank you for, whatever the mundane task of the day was. Oh, making sure that the hummingbird feeder had food in it. Like, little thing.
Yeah. She loves her birds. And people need to stop making fun of her with the bird thing, because Andrea Parent talks about sitting out there and talking to the birds and things like that. And for a while, Jacqueline was putting out a couple of videos where she was talking to the birds. And people made it seem like she was talking through the whole fucking video to the bird, but it wasn't. And I'm thinking, why is it okay for Andrea Perrin to talk to birds, but it's not okay for Jacqueline Nunes to do it? Like
Oh, this is funny. So when one day the Burrillville police did show up at the house, and it was kind of like a nothing burger kind of day. It didn't really make a lot of sense compared to some of the other things that have happened. And they asked, you know, does she talk to creatures out in the yard? And I kind of laughed, and I looked at them and said, we all do. Like we all walk around the house and say like, good morning, good morning, seance room, good morning, like outside. So I was like, I think you're asking the wrong question. Like,
yeah, that was so crazy when people were going crazy about that, because I'm like, if I go take some footage off my CCTV camera, you'll hear me plenty of times on my back porch talking to the birds, like, what do you want? Why do you keep chirping at me?
get
Get
rid of
off of there. So why are you pooping on the window? Like, how's your day today? Like, it doesn't make me crazy, you know? So when did you ever experience one of her outbursts? Is
um,
outburst the right term? Is if correct my words if I am wrong, please.
yeah, I think for me, I never experienced an outburst. What I did experience most recently was I do the gamping, which is ghost camping. So it's gamping. I'm not mispronouncing it. Um, and she came out at like, I think it was like 1:30, 2 in the morning, and had radioed me and said everyone was being really loud and what was going on. And
Hmm.
I was like, oh, we had just gotten back from having like a experience out on the bridge, and um, we were wrapping up like a really fun interactive night out in the yard. And so I had said to her, I'm like, oh, maybe people are just kind of like still kind of amped, and
Mhm.
everyone's at their in their tent and whatnot. And she came out and met me, and she watched as people had like lanterns in their tent, and they were clearly just like, excited, getting ready for the night. No one was doing anything kind of wild and crazy by any stretch. And she said to me that she thought that um, there was a lot of energy and a lot of interaction and a lot of stuff happening was against her that night. And that was my first red flag, like, okay, something's happening. And I explained to her and I showed her all of the tents, and she kind of settled down, and she was like, okay, I don't, I see everyone's just kind of, settling for the night. And, maybe they are being a little bit loud talking or something, but it's not anything that's, problematic. They're not like, raving in their tents by any means.
Popping ecstasy.
Yeah, I think they were all just like, we're changing, and oh my gosh, and we had this great experience. And yeah, exactly. And and then a little bit later, she came back out into the yard and said to me, they all have to go. And I was like, it's
Mm.
3 in the morning. They can't, I'm not asking them to go. And then she kind of calmed down again, and she said she was hearing a lot. And I will say, I was out, I sleep in the tent, out in the staff tent, out in the yard. I was hearing a lot out in the tent too. It was a active night, a busy night. Um, I was hearing a lot myself. I actually went out at one point to ask one of the tents to turn off a radio, and there was no radio playing. As soon as I walked out of my tent, it was
Oh
quiet.
wow. Wow.
The yard is wild, and I kind of chalked it up to her thinking that there was more going on than maybe she realized. And once she got outside, she again would realize that it was just, you know, whatever she was hearing in her head at that time.
Mhm.
Then that was the next morning that she
Wow.
out and said, she texted me in a group text and said I was done. Um,
Oh
but
wow.
I never saw like an outburst. I never saw anything that was disturbing, that was, cause for concern. Again, I'm not a stupid person. If I was worried about my safety, I wouldn't have slept there. I slept there plenty of times, in the house, in the staff quarters, in the tents out in the yard, in the staff camper. Nothing ever before that night made me think anything was like dangerous going on.
So, and it's hard. I don't want to say this the wrong way, but there, do you think there's always a potential for people with certain kinds of illnesses to be a danger to the public? Do you think, in your opinion, that Jacqueline is dangerous to the public, or is she just more of a danger to herself and she just talks more and is verbal instead of physical?
So I would have said, I don't think she's physically dangerous. I don't. I just unequivocally, I don't. I would have said up until recently that she was not dangerous to the public at all. I have seen behavior escalate. I think something's going on with her, where she's getting a little more, I don't know if nervy is the right word, or a little more like approach guests. In the past, she never would have approached guests. She would have approached staff and said, I feel like something's going on and you guys handle it. Now I feel like she's approaching the guests a little bit more. I still don't think she's physically dangerous to anyone, but I don't think it's a good experience right now either.
Right.
I think there's something going on where she needs help. Her brain is telling her a story that isn't accurate and doesn't make sense. And
Right.
I don't think it's her fault. I mean, I know people are going to come after me and say that that I'm like supporting her or whatever, but I really truly do not think. I think if she were in her right mind and she understood what was happening and what she was doing, she would be horrified.
Mhm.
100%, I believe that. And
Yeah.
I wish there was someone that could step in, help her manage the business, because I know she loves it beyond anything that I can imagine. I wish there was someone that could help her understand reality versus what the stories her brain is telling her right now,
Mhm.
and someone that would just take care of her. I mean, I don't think there's anyone right now. I mean, there's staff there, and I was one of them too. Don't get me wrong, but
Right.
you can only do so much. Like, you're not a family member, you're not a legal guardian, you're not, you're only there trying to make sure that the guests are happy, having the best experience. And I gotta tell you, working at that place, I mean, it is a bucket list item for so many people, and the joy
Mhm.
that to so many people is just beyond. I mean, every day my heart sang talking to people there. And so the best part of her day was anytime I would bring her in and say, I have a gift from wherever, like whatever the state was that was not Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, like any place close.
Mhm.
Just light up. She would want to talk to them. And, she was so excited. I really, truly think that whatever is going on in her brain is just doing her a massive disservice, and
Right.
is not, it's not her. It's not her.
Yeah.
It's just not her.
Exactly. Yeah. I have never met her. I've never spoke to her on her phone. Our correspondence has been through Facebook Messenger. Um, and she's never been mean to me. She's always been nice. And I love when she quotes Galileo. I love Galileo myself. And, so I understand a lot of the statements she puts out when they relate to history and how she tells people off through history. So I don't, it would be hard for me to ever.
Oh, I lost you.
I hit my cord on my mic. I, it would be hard for me to meet Jacqueline and then see her in an outburst or something because I just can't see her. I watched so many interviews and I have just seen in some interviews the stress in her eyes, dealing with her other business, and then the stress with buying the Conjuring house. And a lot of people need to understand there is a video out there, and Jacqueline didn't specifically go looking to buy the Conjuring house. Jacqueline had been looking for land and property like that for over 10 years. And when that property opened up, somebody called Jacqueline and told Jacqueline. Jacqueline tells this whole story of how she got the Conjuring house. It wasn't to get the house and make money. She bought the house. The house was already booked. She kept to the word of the owners before her and provided investigations there, and then it became what it became. Is that correct in what I'm saying? Because I have heard her say that in an interview.
That's my understanding, and she definitely has upkept the rule of no one can live there full time. You know, you have to have a caretaker. Someone can't be there full time. She's not there full time. She's only there long weekends here and there. You know, and I do want to be clear too. Like most recently, there was a event where she had an outburst. I spoke with an employee and I saw a review, and I spoke with the actual patron that was there, the guest that was there. And she did have, you know, a problem. And I
Are we
think,
talking about the review that Jason posted?
yeah.
Okay, so
It's,
guys, she's talking about the review that Jason posted today, but Jason hates posting about Jacqueline, but he went into her reviews and posted this review. And I hope this person is watching and does not put out a video on Jacqueline having an outburst. Remember, she has mental illness. So
Yeah.
that's what she's talking about, guys. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Hi, welcome back, Laura.
I hope this is better.
it was definitely an escalation. I've never seen anything like that before. I have spoken to an employee that I actually hired, and has since left, because it was a disturbing event. So it's an escalation in her behavior, but I've never witnessed anything like that before. So
Yeah.
I just worry that, you know,
Yeah.
without help, you know, without some sort of intervention, without help, things just get worse, right? So.
Yeah. And it's, guys, she's not lying because she has been worried for the past 2 days. We knew about this going down before it was even posted. So Tara has been reaching out to me, and we have both been praying for Jacqueline, not only just Tara and I, but customers too. And that's, let me talk about that a little bit. How is her interaction when there are guests there and
You know,
she's there?
to be honest, when I was there, she was amazing. I often would bring her in. She would be, so a lot of the time when she was there, she would be behind a laptop, you know, very fixated on emails or whatever she had going on, maybe her other work. And I would often come in and say, you know, Jacqueline, we have some people from, you know, Dubai. I mean, that was one of the farthest places that I had ever had anyone come in from. And
Wow.
I know, amazing.
To book at the Conjuring house?
What's that?
To book at the Conjuring house? All the way from
Just
Dubai?
for
Wow.
they
Wow.
had a layover. They were
We're not running her business, Jason. Sorry, I had to say it.
It was they were pilots and flight attendants, and they had a 24-hour overlay or delay, whatever, and they wanted to come to the Conjuring house. That was like a bucket list item of theirs. And so, you know, I would go in and she'd be behind the laptop, and I would say to her, Jacqueline, there's people here that are from very far away. And it, you know, Dubai was one day, Canada was another day, Kansas was another day, Iowa was another day, you know, whatever. And
so she's not lying when she says people all over the fucking world know about the Conjuring house. She's not lying.
No, all
You
of
heard
them.
it here first, people, from an
I will
employee,
tell you-
former.
I will tell you, I had guests from Poland, Germany, Quebec, Canada, Dubai, Australia. I mean, all over the place. And it was amazing. And I would go in and I would say to her, like, get out behind the computer, come talk, come say hello. And then it was kind of where she would say, oh, okay. And then she would come out and she would talk to me and she would be lovely.
Karen.
Would be so happy to meet them, ask them about, where they were from, how long they were here, any of that. And so her demeanor when I was there was lovely with guests. I think it's escalated. I've heard it's escalated to maybe not so lovely, but when I was there, she was great. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a handler. I mean, I would say to her, let's go out, let's say hello, let's make sure that, they're from Australia, blah, blah, blah. She would go out, she would do her thing. I would bring her back to the staff room and she would get back on the computer or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it was fine. And I mean, I worked very high up in investments prior to having my kids and having, paranormal jobs. And it's not unlike having a CEO of any other company. I was a handler for them too. I would bring, him out and say, let's go meet Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so who are huge donors and be next for 5 minutes and then go back in and go do whatever you're doing. So it didn't strike me as odd at all to do that with her because,
Yeah. Let's stay on that note because first I want to welcome in Karen from Duke Paranormal. She is a supporter of Jacqueline as well. And then my producer, Carl, came in. Thank you so much for taking that logo off because I didn't know how to fucking do it.
Well, I didn't want to hide behind it, so.
So, hello, Karen. Did you change your show name to The Karen Show? She can't hear me. Karen, you can't hear me?
Yes, I got
a delay.
What's the word? Jaded by having the word paranormal in my title. I just sort of thought with everything. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, right. I can hear you.
So welcome,
just
Karen and
Carl, got a little
bit
jaded with it all. But yeah.
All right. Carl is my producer, so I'm so glad he's here because I hit the wrong buttons. So let's say the topic with the customers. I have I want to say 6, 7, 8 months. I don't remember. Sorry, Justin. Been talking to a customer that goes there, and he goes there often. And he goes there with his family, and his family loves it. And he, too, has sent in a statement. Mm-hmm. Now, this is the first time that you guys are hearing something different from an employee. Not too much different, but in a way, very different. And the first time that you're actually hearing from a customer who was so upset when someone's got white noise going. Very upset
Laura.
when Tara got fired, and he was upset. And then Tara called and broke down what was going on with Jacqueline, and then he quickly came to life and said, yeah, that's right. But anyway, he sent in a statement. He did kind of a video, so I'm gonna bring it up, and then I'm just gonna hit pause and read it and forward it. I don't know. Or should I just read it off my phone? I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna figure this out. So, Carl, I need help.
Okay, you want this one you got pulled up down here up, right?
It should say Justin 1, 2, might be images or the video on the bottom somewhere. Yes. Okay. Thank you. All right. So we're going to pause this. So guys, this is from Justin, who is a longtime customer of the Conjuring House. And I don't want to say too much more because I just don't. And Tara, you know what I'm talking about. But his family loves to play. So he says, "My name is Justin. I've been taking my, well, I didn't take it out, son, family to the Conjuring House since August of 2022. This is an emotional topic for me because I had a cousin with severe mental illness that resulted in her taking her own life on New Year's Day. When we met Jacqueline Nunez shortly after she took over the ownership of the Arnold estate, we ran into her in the gift shop room and one day and she gave my son a nice big hug. I added big. Our first impression of her was a great one, smiling and grateful for our many visits. At last year's Rhode Island Paracon, we again had a nice little conversation about my son's research of the Arnold family legacy. Let me fast forward it here. Let's see. Once again, she was nice and cordial. I always tell my son, base our opinions on others by your interactions. I can't see the sun. This is in my eye. Hold on, guys. I'm blind. So far as okay, I always tell my son we base our opinions on others by our interactions in person. That's good. I like that. So as far as we are concerned, Jacqueline is a big fan of us and we stand by her through all this. None of us get to choose our makeup as a human being at birth. None of us are doctors in the subject of the paranormal, and none of us are the creator of all things in the universe. I share these experiences and thoughts to hopefully touch a few people that can think for themselves and base their judgment of Jacqueline from a place of sympathy instead of evil. Continuing to record videos I'm going, about exploiting someone's shortcomings is both irresponsible and immature. Perhaps some of you out there should turn that judgmental microscope around and point it at yourself. None of us are perfect. What I've learned from my son is that some of us adults need to practice some joy and passion in our lives and strive for happiness and avoid the darkness. It's okay to have opinions and have different points of views, but exploiting and attacking someone instead of providing support or help is a sign of weakness. We stand with the Conjuring House. We will always support and protect the great history and the energy of, whoops, I think I missed a picture. The great energy of the Conjuring House is what he said at the end. So that is coming from Justin, who brings his family there. And Tara has met Justin. And Tara, what can you share with us about Justin's experiences, even with you there? Because he talks very highly about you as the general manager there.
So he actually reached out to me at one point regarding his son's birthday and asked if it would be possible for them to have like an hour alone in the house. He explained his whole background about how he's been to the house so many times, and would it be possible for his son to come just to have an hour? He would pay for an entire tour, whatever. I talked to Jacqueline about it, and Jacqueline was ecstatic. She knew exactly who they were. She said, anything, absolutely, whatever I could do to make it, a good experience for his son. She was very generous about it. He came, his son had time in the house. I actually got, to know them a little bit. His son actually knows probably more about the house than I do. And so I had him, help me. I was like, if you want, you can be a very tour guide. You can come in, join me on the tour. And he was probably just as good, if not better, than I was on the tour.
Yeah, his dad tells me that he thinks he's reincarnated as the Tom Arnold. I'm like, oh, probably.
Love it. And Jacqueline knew who they were. Like, she recognized them. She was thrilled to have, you know, them as a guest at the house. It was you know, it wasn't even a question. It was like, of course, yes, have them come in. And then there was a second time where uh you know, his son wanted to come and kind of check out the yard because they had never really been, you know, beyond the house in the yard. And Jacqueline was like, absolutely. Like, you know, on a day that you have time, have them come in, have them walk around the yard, show them around the yard. So I was more than happy to do that. His son's super cute. He was helping to like check guests in again, probably knew more about the house than me. So was having them, you know, sign their waivers and do all that good stuff. And, you know, Jacqueline was just thrilled about that. Like that made her so happy to have someone that loved the house so much and wanted to be there. And, you know, so to me, that was her real personality. And then, you know, the stuff that kind of takes over as the illness progresses is different. You know, I mean, I can't describe. She was just so tickled at the idea that, you know, his son would come in and like, you know so much about the or whatever. I hope I didn't say his name. I think I might have shit. But
It's okay. I think it got covered over. I got
Yeah.
you.
thank you.
Yeah, like I don't see Jacqueline being a mean person. Cara McGowan says does Jacqueline know when she's doing the wrong things? And can she take out what she dishes? The whole time we've kind of been talking about Carl. She has no clue what's happening when it's happening. And again, to state what kind of mental illness she has would be breaking HIPAA laws. So I'm not going to state it. And I don't think there's a need to state what kind of mental illness anyone has. Mental illness is mental illness. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I there were a few times she would say sense to me and I would question her on it and say, you know, what are you talking about? And she doesn't, I believe, I'm certainly not a doctor. I have no idea. I believe she doesn't have any idea when she's doing something that, or saying something that just doesn't make, it's a disconnect. Like like I say all the time, her brain is telling her a story that she believes and can't reconcile any other way. I mean, it's like if you went to touch a hot stove and your brain said the stove is hot, don't touch it, you wouldn't touch it. You know, to her, if her brain says this person is being led by the Queen of England to steal money from you, she's like, okay, that's what's happening. Get it.
And mental illness, you guys have to realize, it takes everybody as prisoner. You can be smart, dumb, rich, poor, fat, ugly, skinny. It doesn't have a look. Mental illness doesn't have a particular look. Neither does a serial murder. No one thought Ted Bundy was a serial murderer or Jeffrey Dahmer was eating people's bodies. So there's no look to a mental illness, you know? And I just want people to know that. And I'm starting to learn more and more about mental illness because I'm going through things myself. I'm looking at having an open heart surgery. I'm only 52 years old. So my shit is fucked up. And I got to tell you, I'm having conversations sometimes with myself. Tomorrow I start therapy. So there is no look. People, Angelina, you're okay. You look fine. No, inside, I am not okay. I totally understand where you're coming from. I understand where Jacqueline's coming from. I had a cousin that has a daughter that has the same issue Jacqueline has, and it wasn't good, but it got better in her adult years. But she did not know what she was doing when she was doing the things that she did. And, you know, no one in the family believed it until we actually saw it. So
Yeah. And
y'all
look,
stop talking. Y'all stop talking shit. And let's go back to Jason Hawes. I had asked Tara earlier if she believes that the staff knew way before they quit. She believes it. I believe it. It was told to me by someone that Jason Hawes specifically told some debunkers that he watched Jacqueline be Karen. Do you want to?
Yeah, I don't mind. Can
Okay.
you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Tara,
Okay.
we're going to keep you on if you have the time, because
Sure.
I know the other two ladies here are interviewers as well. I'm glad that you came on. I know we've been talking a lot. I totally did not expect you to come on tonight, so I'm glad you made it more comfortable for me as well. And it's nice to, I don't want to say it like this, beat Jason Hawes to the punchline, but it's nice to get an honest opinion from someone who's not involved in a Katori fucking clique.
Yeah.
At all, period. So, Karen, why don't you tell us what you heard?
What I was told, yeah.
And tell your story. And if you have
Okay,
any
so
questions for Tara when you're done, feel free.
no worries. Thanks, Tara. It was months and months ago. I can't remember how long ago it was I told you, but before I told you, it was months before that. So it was when it sort of was starting, when the debunkers were starting to put their little videos out about the Conjuring house. I've got a few friends that are debunkers. I won't name the person who told me just to keep that person safe, I guess, but they had a meeting. So they had
It's audio only.
have you got me?
Yep.
They had a meeting between themselves. So the debunkers get together and have a StreamYard and say hey to each other. They don't always go live. So they have their little meetings and talk about stuff. And I was told that Jason, all the way back then, relayed a story about Jacqueline being found in a slightly undressed situation by the police, who then piled her into the car and took her back to the police station. But she refused to be held or whatever. They could only keep her for a certain amount of time, and then she released herself. Now, my issue with that was that in telling those people that, not live, like he's told them that in one of their little meetings. Why did he do that then? Okay, gossip, I guess, gossip between themselves. But I found it disturbing on the level that instead of saying to them, hey, obviously that she's not well, so don't hit her hard over this. We'll just make, I honestly, I wouldn't have even made the YouTube world aware of the situation. If that were me, I would have taken that information. I would have sent someone she trusted, like Tara or someone else that was there, and said, hey, what can we do to make her get help? How can we intervene in all of this? But unfortunately, in my opinion, I believe that there are other things afoot, as Sherlock Holmes would say, and I believe there's ulterior motive to why they're doing what they're doing. I could be wrong. It's just my opinion. And when you start saying stuff like that, and when you continually bring it up and make videos about messages she sent me, things that she did, look at this, look at that, it's not helping someone with a mental illness. She has obviously got a mental illness, and I can see different people. I'm going to go on a Karen rant. Watch this. I can see different people in the chat.
Everybody get your popcorn ready, get your pajamas on.
Oh,
This is about to go down.
Much like Angela is saying, when you're dealing with your own mental health, things can you don't always look at things clearly. You need someone who cares about you to help intervene. Obviously, Jacqueline at this point does not have people that want to assist or can assist, or maybe because of her mental illness over the years, she has ostracized family. It is a very, very difficult thing to have to continually, on a daily basis, care for someone with a mental illness. And I can say that because I was married to someone with a severe mental illness. So it's really hard. And what's happening with her at the moment, as you said, I think it was, no, Tara said that she sort of wants to be on the computer a lot and she reads the social media and things like that. That can, certain people with their mental illnesses can become obsessed with a certain thing to do. So she's obviously obsessed with reading what's being said about the Conjuring House and herself. No easy way to stop her from seeing that stuff.
Right.
And then she continually gets bombarded by these people saying all these horrible things that she's telling them or sending them. You know what? People that are complaining about it, shut up. All right? Shut up. Keep it to yourself. If you're really truthfully worried that, you know, she might show up at your house and do something to you, well, take those steps, as Mr. Hawes says he has. He says he's taken legal
let me interrupt you right there, and I'm really sorry.
Yeah. No, go for it.
With Jason going live or doing that little video the other day, and Satori saying, you know, we have to get protection. Y'all don't have to get protection from Jacqueline. Y'all have been protecting your fucking selves since Sam and Colby Hell Week, and you all got called the fuck out, because that's when y'all started protecting yourselves. Because Jason even says it in many videos that, and I was even told they had to move into Jason's house, but y'all were having to be protected way back then. It had nothing to do with Jacqueline.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to say that. I might interrupt you guys here and there, and I'm sorry, but it's just to bring things out for the viewers from the videos that I have put up and other things that they saw. So I'm going to shut my mouth now. And I feel, and I'm sorry, Laura, that I keep muting your mic. It just hits the white noise. So
yeah, it's really easy.
Don't leave, Laura, because after Karen, I'm going to bring you up. And Tara, at any point, if you think anyone is saying something that's a little off or not too correct, feel free to jump in, because you were there, you worked there, we didn't. You know, a lot of these debunkers don't do their fucking homework and reach out to people.
No.
You know, so this is, I hope, going to help Jacqueline, and I hope at least change one person's mind about mental illness and about Jacqueline Nunes specifically. So, all right, I'm going to shut the fuck up.
Thank you.
Shut up, Angela.
Okay.
No, not
well,
thank you for shutting up. Thank you
no,
for
it's
saying-
good. You gave me time to cool down because I was about to lose it. I just, you know, having lived with someone that had mental illness, and quite dangerous mental illness in my situation, because he could become violent. But in the moments that happened, he definitely wasn't in control of what he was doing. Something had happened with the medication, or something had happened to start him thinking these things. So yeah, people that comment and perhaps don't understand how certain mental illnesses work, you've got to remember, for example, Carl, I'm not picking on you. When people, not you, Carl, not Carl that's on the screen, the Carl that's in the chat. When people begin to write a long-winded letter and start stating different things that are occurring to them, and you should watch it, and you stole from me, and you did this, they can't think about what they're writing. They are thinking about it, but they're not thinking about it on a stable level. So it's not like you or I or me at the moment ranting that could possibly take a breath and go, oh, I shouldn't say that. Because then the person, Jacqueline, is not in her right state of mind. And anything she writes, instead of being taken as a threat or, oh, you know, she's completely gone loopy and laughing at her because she said, you know, Princess Catherine or whomever, or you need to feel pity. Like, it's so sad, and not laugh at her and make fun, and certainly not take any of it seriously, and not make a video where you read it all out and then have your family member say, oh, don't go there, boycott the Conjuring House. Yeah, let's send the poor woman broke so that if she does need help, she can't get it. That's
Go ahead,
how
Tara.
Yes. No, I second that 1,000%. And also, part of my job was to respond to emails and to do all of the admin work. And I will tell you, for as many, you know, pleasant emails that we received, we probably got 2 times the amount of negative emails, death threats, terrible things. Some of the worst emails that we got were from religious organizations telling us that we should burn in hell. Death threats to Jacqueline, which I know reading on a daily basis. And for me, I read them as a person, with a hopefully stable mind. And I read them and I think this person's crazy and I just delete it. Or this person is, it's unfounded and I delete it. But I think as she's reading those, she's probably reading them as this is yet, the 50th person of the day that is threatening me or telling me I'm a horrible person or telling me whatever. And that just feeds into some of the illness and paranoia and sickness. And it's not fair. It's not right. It's just gross. I mean,
that's the point I was trying to put across. You're right, Tara. It's just, I mean, and as I say, I can speak from experience. I've dealt with trying to settle someone's brain down when they get into this, and it's not easy. Usually it ends up, it did end up with my husband at the time being put into care because I couldn't. Had to get the meds right. And that's another thing that people don't know. You don't just get given a pill to take and you're magically fixed. Sometimes those pills aren't right for your brain, and it's a mixture, and it's a cocktail of this and a cocktail of that until you get it just right. And if you've got nobody there to support you through it, and I don't know about America, but certainly in Australia, mental health is care for people with mental health is lacking, for want of a nicer word. So I would assume it's a little bit the same there in America. But the thing I find horrific and what I found so upsetting was when Angela put up her video the other day about Jason and Satori there reading out the messages. I was watching almost in disbelief, thinking this is coming from a person who says that, we continue to get these messages. There's such a thing as blocking, deleting, and then he says, it comes from other areas. Delete. Don't even read the freaking.
Go, Karen.
Just delete it. And what are you reading it out to the world for? Why are you putting a spotlight on this lady's mental health? Why are you doing that? And then that's where my brain takes me to, my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, it's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But let's just say there's somebody who would really love to own the Conjuring house because, they might be able to put a museum in it. They might be able to make good money from it and use their notoriety, to get rich. What better way than to slowly let people that are out here putting up these posts, like people now in the chat, if you only believe what you see the Satoris and the whores and the debunkers put up, if you only believe that, if you think, I love them so much they can't be telling kids, then, break it to you. Most of these people don't do deep dives. Some of them have not been involved in mental illness, and some of them have ulterior motives. At the end of the day, what the hell was that? It sounded like a car taking off.
It's like a motorcycle
I'm
by
going to
Laura's
go
house.
I'm going to go onto a limb and speak out of school only from my own experience that they probably also do not have the passion of seeing all of the people that show up at the house and fulfill their bucket list and all of that. I strongly believe that there are some folks that look at the house as a moneymaker.
That's how I see it. Mm-hmm.
And I started there and ended there thinking this is the most amazing place that will come to fulfill a bucket list item, and I want it to be the best place ever. And I don't think everyone thinks of it that way.
No, and I think, frankly, Tara, for you, my advice is continue to touch base with her, and maybe even go out on a limb if you live close by and go and check on her, because once she settles because it comes in waves. And sometimes once the wave hits, it takes a while to dissipate, and other times, and you've seen it, you've been there with her, it can come in waves. So maybe just continue to let her know that you're there if she needs you, so that when a little of normality might hit, she knows that she does have someone to reach out to. And there's many of us, she could, Angelina, I mean, and even me, I wrote an email once and said, are you okay? And she replied, or maybe you did, but someone replied and said, thank you, you know, because it was a nice email.
That's Jacqueline. That's Jacqueline. Because
Jacqueline.
Yeah,
it was
she
a nice email.
replies back to me from her own Facebook, and it's her. You know, it's her.
So what I mean is, when she has those, so it's up to you. I mean, obviously, if it went to the point where it never will, it will never go to the point where a policeman's going to knock on your door and say, did you steal $60,000? Because you didn't. So at some point that'll settle for you. And you do seem like a very caring person who understood the need to be kind to Jacqueline when you were there. And I just wish that all these people going, oh, she's dangerous, and for your own safety, boycott the Conjuring house. Go bugger off and continue making your freaking own shows and doing your own work, and leave this lady alone. All right, leave her alone, because it's just revolting.
And the people saying that boycott the Conjuring house, you're not just hurting Jacqueline and her business. And actually, I don't think you're hurting it really at all, but you're hurting the town or city of Burville from having traffic come through there. Use their local stores, maybe their local hotel. But the area is not well heard of, but the Conjuring house keeps Burville alive. It keeps the name alive. And people don't think about that. I don't know if it makes sense to anybody else out there, but that's the second part of this. When you do a boycott, you're taking away from a town or city that's making money off visitors from all over the fucking world. Yep, she gets people from all over the world. Amen.
Yeah.
Boom. Laura, do you have any questions? No. Okay. Laura's on. No, Laura's on there, punished on mute. On mute. Like, so when somebody brought up today, I woke up and I had an inbox, and it was what Jason had posted on Facebook. Right then and there, it sealed my thoughts 100%. You are the one exploiting her. You are the one continuing to keep stalking her. If you don't want to have nothing to do with Miss Jacqueline Nunez, then why are you in the reviews of the Conjuring house? Are you really upset, Jason, that you did not get the Conjuring house? Could you maybe not afford the debt that Corey and Jen had occurred and couldn't pay, and they had to sell the house because it was too much money? There's a lot there that happens too. This is my opinion. If Corey Heinzman would have not screwed over, in my opinion, his partner, Roxanne Jaspero, Jacqueline Nunez would have never owned that house, and she would never be in a position she is in. Corey Heinzman would have had somebody who knows how to run a business, and they probably would still have it to this day. Remember, Corey Heinzman himself said he did not know how to run a business. They were bad at it. But he did have a partner in the very beginning of when he purchased the Conjuring house. And I will be speaking with Roxanne maybe in the next week or two. We'll be doing a live, and she'll be showing lots of evidence. And you guys are going to sit back and probably think, and I hope you think, Angelina's right. This would never have happened had Corey not fucked over his business partner. Because I bet you none of you knew that he had a business partner besides just his wife. He had Roxanne, you know. So it, to me, goes, that's where it starts at. It would have never happened if he didn't fuck somebody over. And I firmly believe that he fucked someone over because I've seen the documents, I've seen the paperwork, and I have shared some of these documents and paperwork with people. So I can back up what the fuck I say. I've always been able to. And Karen, you make a good point. Some of the debunkers come out here and they talk shit, but they don't do the research. They don't dig. They don't dive. They don't reach out to people who are affiliated with the people they're debunking at their locations or whatever and talk to these people. You know, I reached out to Tara because somebody gave me Tara's name. Was I nervous? Was I scared? Was I thinking I'm going to get the fuck you? Absolutely. But that's my job. To get to the truth is to reach out to the people who are firsthand in the middle of the bullshit. So everyone, who thinks that Jason Hawes and everyone who keeps talking shit about Jacqueline Nunes is right. You go ahead and you keep believing that they're right. And you just keep showing how inhumane and uncompassionate you fucking are. And you keep making yourself look like an idiot. She really is sick. She is sick. Tara is an employee who got accused of helping steal $60,000, and she still stands behind Jacqueline. I stand behind Jacqueline. Karen stands behind Jacqueline. Laura stands behind Jacqueline. Carl, everyone in this room, all 74 people, except for the ones of you that are just trolling because you're too afraid to make a comment, stands behind Jacqueline.
Well, the
Thank
simple
you.
fact of
Thank
the
you.
matter is, if she emails me, I can block her. It's
Right.
It's such a simple fix. So if you're out there belly aching about she's trolling me and she's commenting to me and she's doing this and she's doing that, block her. Like, you're a grown up.
Exactly. Blocker. That's what I couldn't work out either, Tara. They keep saying, oh, and then she uses all different ways to get us, or false emails she's made. I'm so what? Block, spam, block, whatever. Like, she's not
But
well.
I was telling Tara earlier, if you keep poking the bear's going to jump back. So here's another thing that we don't know. We don't know if they started poking her first or if she started poking them first, because she has not come out with anything. Because through even her mental illness, to me, she is the bigger, better person, period, point blank. And if I am at fault for anything, I will take the blame for that. But in my opinion, she is a bigger, better person. She really is. And especially if she doesn't know what's happening. But if she were to find out, and she'd be the type of person that would apologize and not believe, oh my God, I did that. Me, little old Jacqueline. Like, people just have to stop. People have to stop. Jason Hawes, like you said, knew months and months and months ago. The staff at the Conjuring House know within maybe 4 months to 6 months, maybe in a month. It all depends on the day that Jacqueline's having. So they knew way prior to quitting that there was something wrong there. What I believe they tried to do is change the narrative, because the narrative was on Cody and Satori. And then all of a sudden they came out and said they resigned. They didn't have to come out on social media and do that. So they, in my mind, are the ones who started this social media fucking bullshit controversy shit with the Conjuring House. Because when you have a work issue, bring it up with the labor board. Don't bring it to social media. Fucking idiot. Sorry, go ahead, Tara. And I don't mean fucking idiots to Cody and Satori. I'm just saying fucking idiots in general.
In general, yeah.
No, I'm sorry.
I get hot. I get hot.
I will say, when I was hired and when there were several other staff hired, we were told it was a wonderful environment, nothing wrong, nothing to worry about, nothing to be concerned about. Everything's hunky-dory, Disney World. And then literally we all started on the same day and the old staff left. So, as we brought in new staff, we were very clear to say there are some troubles. There are some things you need to look out for. You need to be careful of this, that, or the other thing. But there was an entire crew of people that were brought in prior to the old regime leaving, that they just basically brought us in, said everything's beautiful. They left and was like, good luck.
So are you saying that you were there before they all actually finally left and didn't turn around and go back?
I was brought in immediately after they left.
Wow. Okay.
So Brian Dansero brought me in. Pretty much, he told me I was replacing, whomever. It was a wonderful place to work. It was the Disney World of Paranormal. There was nothing wrong. And I said, it's weird because in all of my job interviews, I've never been interviewed, hired, and brought in like basically the same day. And I thought, kind of to myself, I was like, is this an MLM? Am I going to be selling like things or something? Like, what's happening? But then I was so grateful to work there that I was like, yes, I will come in. Of course I will do this. But now I know it was well orchestrated. They replaced everyone that was leaving within a matter of days, weeks, maybe months. I have no idea.
So, in your opinion, do you think that they resigned, or do you think Jacqueline let them go and gave them the option to resign before fire them? Because that's what most business people will do. You're going to resign, or I'm going to fire you.
So, considering the entire staff, I would say my guess would be she told them either quit or you're done as of this day.
That has been my guess since day one.
Yeah.
Because she's a very legit, intelligent businesswoman. Very savvy.
She's very correct.
Yeah.
So even when I was like, oh, it was like, there was no bones about it. It was, you're fired, you're done. You and the Queen of England can go, you know, do whatever. Gladly. She's beautiful. Why would I not?
I was a little jealous. I was like, how does Jacqueline have her?
Militant girl, let's go. But I suspect, because it was so many of them all at once, that it was maybe like, you know, it's you're done or else, you know, resign before this date or else you're done.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea though.
Yeah, it makes me wonder, because prior to them quitting, in a video they did after they quit, they said in hindsight, they should have left months prior to when they left. So that right there was a red flag that made me think Jacqueline probably gave them the option to resign. And I know that Corey and Jen had put the resignation in months before all of them, but that's my opinion too, that she gave them the option. And it would be so funny if she comes out with an email one day saying, here's the email I sent to them all in one group. You know, that would be hilarious.
Well,
that would be funny.
Well, it's
one thing.
It's
sorry,
Tara. Because we had a Zoom call shortly after all of us had started, and it was, you know, the whole crew telling us that she was dangerous and we all needed to quit all at once, and you know, we needed to leave. And
wow. But yet they keep saying they wish the new employees luck, but not telling us that they're reaching out to all of you new employees. So you guys heard that here. They tried reaching, so they tried ruining her business when she had new people. So they kept attacking her even after they left. That is what Tara is saying. That the crew who left called the new crew and said, hey, listen, X, Y, and Z. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I was hearing that right. Because
that's what I heard. And that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Like what I said with the debunkers all
Tara's
having
going to be all over the internet tomorrow.
Yeah, I wonder, this is just me wondering. This isn't based on fact. This is just me with my little, I love true crime videos and things, with my little true crime brain. If somebody wanted to get a hold of something and they were working somewhere where they realized that the person that they were working with, or the person that had hired them, wasn't all there. Let me see, and befriend her, listen to her, talk about all of her problems, tell her who's talking to her from the far, and hey, you know, I mean, I don't know if someone's got the ability to talk to the dead and tell Jacqueline that the owners of this house are so happy that you're here and blah, 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 when you're dealing and doing so because possibly knowing that she's mentally unstable, kind of feeding the fire, and then at some point decide, geez, it wouldn't be hard. And then, I don't know, how hard would it be to poke the bear and then break, like the bear breaks? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and then leave and then continue to poke at the bear in the hopes that they're going to lose the house that you really want, and you can swoop in and look like the saint that saved the Conjuring house from the wicked, crazy lady. I don't know. That's just how I'm feeling looking at it from afar. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but I'm just saying from an outsider looking in and knowing a few little things that are happening in the background that other people aren't aware of. That's how it looks. You could make a movie about it.
Absolutely.
And it's almost scripted. And for Tara to say that they had a Zoom and said, hey, everybody leave. Not to mention having a Zoom months ago before all of this started to break on the internet, telling other debunkers that she had been arrested by the police and not, why are you doing that? That's what I want to know. What's the final outcome that these people want? What do you want? Why do you keep doing this to her? Just shut up. Go away. Let her get help. Let her stop seeing this stuff. Let her stop getting threats. Leave her alone. They're bullies and they're nasty. And I have no sympathy, not one iota, because I've gotten nasty messages over the years for different things from whatever, and you just delete it. You just delete it. Like, whatever, but there's just something not right. And like I say, it's my opinion. I can't be 100% sure I'm correct, but it's how it looks.
Well, anyone's opinion is correct. If that's how you feel, you're correct. I mean, that tells more to the story. If they're calling employees after them and saying, hey, look, you shouldn't work for here. Here's what's going to happen, or here's what happened. That's poking the bear. That's going after her. That's attacking her. That's harassing her. That's doing all the things Jason Haas says that he and others are not doing. But they're saying they're not doing this, but it's clear they are, because it's all over the internet. They make it apparent. They're not smart enough to do things in different ways, in my opinion. I just don't get it. The whole point of this entire live in the video I was going to put up was mental health and help Jacqueline. Stop talking about her and lying. If you're going to talk about her, tell the truth. Tell the fucking truth. Leave the lady alone. Stop exploiting her. Someone called out Jason in one of my posts, and basically said, your views are low. This video that you did with Katori brought your views up, whatever. And they had a conversation back and forth or whatever. I don't remember. It was a comment. And then I went and I looked and I'm like, yeah, like, it's not just Jason. Everyone who does something about the Conjuring House gets amazing views. But everyone who does something about the Conjuring House is not telling the truth. Simply Strange. Used to be Ben and Laney, biggest fakers on the internet. He doesn't put out his own content. He takes from everybody else. And I have warned that man many times and have commented and said, you're wrong. You're going to get laughed at. Take that down. You're wrong. Remember when I heard that the Conjuring House was up for sale and I called the news and then I played it on people, and they said, yes. So then they realized they made a mistake. I took that video down. I had over 15,000 views. I took it down. So it's not about the money. It was wrong. It was misinformation. So I took it down. Other people's leave it up. You know what I'm saying? Simply Strange. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, because you don't know shit. If you don't know shit, shut the fuck up. People keep saying, Angelina, where's your video? Talking about the Conjuring House. Because I don't know enough and have facts to put shit out. I will not put shit out if I don't have facts. And I know the Heinzmans are probably sitting there going, okay, she's talking shit about us, but she doesn't know. The fuck I do. I have facts. I have shit. I'm not afraid to say
like Sherlock Holmes of the paranormal. That's all I'll say about Angelina. She's like Sherlock Holmes.
Because I don't want to have to come back and apologize because I was too lazy to get my research done, because I wanted to put up a video because I need to make money. I don't need to make money. I can tell you right now, there's other debunkers that have more viewers than me, and I make a little more money than they do. So who cares? Take the videos down that are lies. Take them down. Stop talking shit. And if you really care about Jacqueline, to all the people who keep saying that, take down your fucking videos.
Yeah.
Stop talking to her. Stop talking about her. Stop being in her reviews. Stay the fuck away from her, because you're only making yourself look bad. And until you do that, I will keep fucking coming.
And
Karen?
But the other thing that worries me too, it doesn't worry me actually. I hope this happens. Again, from an outsider's perspective, watching what's happening to Jacqueline, and understanding that she's firing people like Tara, and understanding that, but that's the mental illness. And it's also the fact that we don't know exactly who is in her ear constantly. We don't know who might be sending her messages masked as someone else and continually feeding the fire. And I think if Jacqueline hasn't come out and said anything, right, other than her messages that she rants on, I hope that somehow in the future, certain people that have been making all these videos and boycotting and all that sort of thing will be taken to court, legally sued for sort of defamation, not really defamation, but taken to court for there's a word for it, I can't think of what it is, but basically trying to ruin, defamation, trying to ruin her business. And it's clear they're trying to ruin her business. They're saying that they want her business to fail so someone else can come in and buy it. They're saying that. So they're not alluding to it. They're saying boycott it. And then they say boycott it till she gets the help she needs. Well, she won't be able to get any help if she's got no money. Right. So how about you just all shut up and leave the woman alone to get the help that she needs? And eventually, if everybody leaves her alone, it'll settle a little bit from her perspective and what she's seeing. It'll just settle. And it's just sad. I understand a lot of people in the chat world look at different things, and you have people that you hold up high in your opinion, and I have too. All right, we all do. But once you realize, don't take everybody at their word, and even what we're all saying here today, don't just let us tell you and then, I believe it. Look into it for yourself. It's not difficult. You've got to listen to people, take in what they're saying, and then make your own opinion based upon what you're able to see and realize. So research a little bit about mental illness and why people can't control themselves to a certain extent. Mm-hmm. Look back to when all this started. Look back if you want to and see what people said. Watch Angelina's videos when she's brought up the receipts. Because Angelina, a lot of people like to say, she's always saying things. Well, she's passionate. She wants the truth. She wants to be kind to people. And sure, we get passionate, and sometimes we say things that we think we shouldn't have. We've all done it. We've all been there. But at the end of the day, you don't keep badgering someone like they are with Jacqueline. You just don't do it. She's not well. She needs help. She needs people around her that care. And I hope that Tara, in some short way, does sort of stick around and wait for a little bit, because Tara, to me, seems like someone very caring, and Jacqueline needs more people like that in her life. And it is hard. Again, anyone in the chat that does suffer from mental illness or has known someone who has suffered, it is very hard sometimes to keep that compassion for that person, because you do get continually hurt, and there are times where you do have to step away. But when you step away from the person with the mental illness, it doesn't mean that you don't care for them anymore. It just means that you can't take it anymore. But you can always make sure that you can still always keep an eye on them. You can always make sure that somebody goes to keep an eye on them. There's ways. And I just think being cruel to someone with mental illness is disgusting. And end of Karen rant.
End of Karen rant. That's so funny. So I'm going to put a link in the comments. I don't know if it shows up as a link or whatever, but when all of you have time, I want you to watch this video. It is 2 hours long, but it's a video with Andrea Perrin speaking with Jacqueline, being the new mistress of the house, the new owner of the house. And she's got Cody and Satori on there, and then she's got Ken DaCosta. And when I saw that video, that is when I realized here is where the problem started, is with this video. She walked into the Conjuring house not knowing anybody, not knowing nothing about the paranormal, because in this video, she clearly asked the silliest questions, like, did we go to school for this? Are we governed? Stuff like that. So she didn't know anything. And these people that hung around with Corey and Jen, Cody Satori, all these people who stayed on with Jacqueline, she got played from the beginning, in my opinion. She got put with a bunch of liars, some fakers, some scammers, everything mixed in the middle. And she is such a good person, in my opinion, and loyal that she believed in these people. And she talks about in this video how it was going to be, it's hard for her to just start. She has to trust a whole new staff of employees. She's had the same ones for 18 years. But you can see the innocence in this video. And if someone comes at me and says she's acting, I swear to God, I'm going to slap the taste out of your mouth. Probably not, because, you know, I probably should have said that on YouTube. I don't fucking care no more. I don't fucking care. So, and a lot of people in the comments are saying, how come the other debunkers are hanging out with Jason? How come they're not, you know, speaking up? I don't know why the other debunkers are hanging out with Jason, and I get sick being called a debunker. I'm a fact finder. I'm a truth finder. That is it. Everybody does debunking in their life, no matter what kind of field they're in. I just find the facts and find the truth. And to you people who say that I'm picking on Jacqueline and I'm picking on Cody and Satori, go watch my first or second video when I talk about how my family got fucked over by Cody and Satori and led to believe something that wasn't fucking true. And one of my family members almost took their fucking life. I will die until I will take them down until I have to, even if I die first. I will do what I got to do. But I feel for Jacqueline. But please, I put the link in here. I'm going to put it again. Go watch this video and watch your judgment change about Jacqueline without even knowing she had mental illness. She got played, in my opinion, by Andrea Perrin. Andrea Perrin, you can hear a lot of things that Jacqueline says that Andrea Perrin says. UFOs, the fourth dimension, living in 4D, the galaxies, the talking to the birds. Where did Jacqueline get that? Probably from Andrea. Where did she get Cody and Satori? They lied to the whole public and said they met Jacqueline at a Paracon. No, Jacqueline met you through Jen Heinzman during a sale of the house. You guys went out to eat. You did your method for her. But you only do it organically, but you did it for the new owner of the Conjuring house. Organically, my fucking ass. You did it because you wanted to keep your ass in the Conjuring house. That's my opinion. So I'm going to shut the fuck up for a minute. I'm going to go downstairs and take a piss. And Carl, do you have anything you would like to say?
Yes, I do.
I'm bringing Carl to the stage, and I'm leaving, and I'll be right back.
Okay. My question is to all you ladies here that heard that video from Jason Hawes about that email. Did anybody prove that she sent that email?
No.
That's what I'm getting the point about, you know, and everything. There's no proof that she sent this email. And if she didn't send that email, according to that video, she could sue them like crazy.
Absolutely. And that's what I'm hoping ends up happening. That, I mean, if she did send it, she sent it. But to say that she did with all certainty when he says it's coming from different email addresses, any person who wanted to stir the pot just has to. If I wanted to be a cow, I could open up a new email address and send something horrific and say it's coming from someone I don't like or whatever. It happens.
That's the point I was getting across.
I watch enough true crime.
It's a drama situation that Jason and them are bringing on against her.
Exactly. So,
until they show proof that that email was sent by her, then, you know, they don't have a leg to stand on.
Yeah. Like, I mean, we could go off on a tangent into all of the conspiracies that we can come up with. But I think just looking at it logically, the way it stands at the moment, just standing there and looking at how it's unfolded, it honestly looks like somebody wants that house back, or somebody wants that house and they understand she's unwell and they've taken advantage of her illness to make it work in their favor, whoever they are, to get that house back, or at least get it out of her hands. But into whose hands is the question? Who wants that house? Who wants it? Who wants it more than, who wants it enough that they would do something this despicable to get it? And that's just that is how it looks looking from the outside in, you know. And I just think, honestly, just they've just got to stop, don't they, Carl? They've just got to stop. If they are true about it,
because
and let her get help.
Like we started with, there's no proof that email came from her.
Nope.
And everything that we showed, Angelina and all of us showed on here that night.
Speaking of that, that's a good question for Tara. So Tara, in one of their videos, when they showed their resignation letter, it was from the Conjuring House to the Conjuring House, as opposed to from codingsatori@gmail.com to the Conjuring House. So did everyone have access to the email? Like, I don't understand why it came from and to.
No, not everyone has access to the email, or at least not when I was there. I will say that she is not technologically savvy, and so she has been sending emails evidently to me at the info@Conjuring House email, and then getting really angry that I'm not responding to her, even though I don't have access to that email anymore. So I don't know.
Well, that email wasn't from the Conjuring House. If you remember at the top of it, where you could read a little bit of it, it didn't have anything about the Conjuring House up there in the description at the top.
I don't remember. I just remember seeing one where it said their original resignation letter from the Conjuring House to the Conjuring House, which caught me off guard. Like, what?
I mean,
unless Aaron Bush wrote it because she had access to the administration.
That could be, but it's very easy to put something in a PDF form as well. I mean, how many people need to, if you can do things technically, it's easy to also show it up as being fraud. It can be put through things to show that you've doctored documents, but it is easy to cut and paste. And if they're just showing you, they're not forwarding you the email, if they're just showing you a screenshot, awfully easy, very easy to cut and paste and make something look real when it's not.
Exactly.
Is all I'll say.
I don't know nothing about how to do that.
I will say that the latest emails are pretty accurate. They're pretty on par with some of the things that I've seen before. So I would say it's less likely, in my opinion, that she's faking emails, and more likely that she's a little bit confused, like sending the emails to the email address at the house and that sort of thing. But
well, let me be clear. I'm not saying she's faking emails. Not Jacqueline. I'm saying the people that say, we just received this email from Jacqueline, and look what it says. I'm saying that it's possible that they are cutting and pasting, and I'm not saying they are. I'm just saying it is possible. You can do it if you want to make something look like it came from somebody, and if you know how to use all the applications on your desktop computer, you can make anything look real. It can be proven fake later because, like I say, there's things that can be done, but yeah, it's just
for sure. I ever had correspondence through was the info@Conjuring House email, and but at 100%, that's easy enough to fake, or easy enough to cut and paste, or easy enough to manipulate in any way. So for sure.
Big Stu said that he thought data privacy law enacted in June for Rhode Island prohibits YouTubers from showing a personal email address. I don't think you're supposed to show an email address.
Right. So I was talking about earlier, because Jason went, on the other day while Laura and I was live, and Susan, and he had done that video. So we went and jumped on it and played it live. And people were asking, how come the address isn't on there? Well, because in some states it is illegal
to
to
show it.
share someone's email address. It's like sharing someone's phone number. An email address can lead to an IP address, which can lead to finding your location. So it is illegal. Again, I will stick up for people when I feel that they're being wronged. I don't think that that was doctored, and I don't think there was a intentional reason to not show the email address. It is a law, and it is extremely prosecutable.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they didn't show it because they know better than to show it. So
And just to be clear, so I don't get into trouble, I'm not saying that things have been faked. I'm just saying that we don't know whether they've been faked or not. We're just being shown. So if you're going to present something, it's awfully important to present proof as to, look, this really did come to us, or you know, because there are ways to fake things. There are ways to doctor documents. There are ways to do things, and you do get caught because, as I said a few times now, there are, you know, if you present something, it will be put through different things, and you can find out that it's not real. But you know, that also seems a little bit. I would hope they wouldn't go to that extent. I don't think that they would, but then we don't know. They're going, you know, they need to really, and if they happen to be watching this, I don't know if
they are.
Well, I don't know if they'll listen to us or not, but if they're truly up on the up and up and truly really concerned about her, they need to stop doing what they're doing. Point blank. Stop it. And yes, I wish somebody, I did see in the comments before, someone said a cease and desist should be put on them, because they're continually, by doing what they're doing, and for people watching and what they're saying and believing them, hate is being directed toward Jacqueline that she doesn't need to see or hear. And as you
deserve.
Yeah, and as Tara said, there's death threats and all sorts of things. You know, people have to be careful what they say, because they could lead to either Jacqueline hurting herself or someone else, some nut job going in there and doing it. You don't know who's watching what you're saying and believing it. So they need to stop, because they're continually putting her at risk by coming out with this every 5 seconds. Like, just shut up. It's at the point where I really don't care. I do care about Jacqueline, but I really don't care about what they've got to say. It's just too much. Just be quiet, deal with it privately with your solicitors or your lawyers or whatever, but leave the woman alone and stop telling people not to go to the Conjuring house. If something happens and they arrive and they can't get in, I'm sure somewhere along the lines they may get their money back, whatever. But you can't, it has to be illegal, or there has to be something not lawful about purposefully taking steps to ruin someone's business. And that's what they're doing, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And, you know, it just all sucks. It sucks. And if, you know, Jacqueline prevails and shows that she is the one being bothered, I mean, it's all over the internet. She's just got to grab videos and take videos and do what she does. It's documented, you know. But I, in my opinion, I honestly think that she got played from the very get-go. And I think that when they all were allegedly given the option to resign, that caused a lot of problems. That caused a lot of issues. And there's some other things that I have learned about that are hopefully going to get checked into the best we can. I can't say right now. Tara and I talked about it earlier because I asked her a few questions about the physicalness of the house. So I'm waiting on something there. But I just think that this has been going on longer than we all think it has. And I think Jacqueline finally caught on to them and realized what was going down, and realized that all this controversy with the Cody Satori issue was hurting her business. And she said, you've got to go. So instead of firing you because it will look bad on your record and I wouldn't give you a reference, you have to resign, because that's what I would do. And I stand firm in saying she should have let everybody go and started with a whole fresh staff. You learned about the paranormal from Andrea Perrin, who swears to fucking God the phone was hanging in the midair every time they fucking came home. Yeah, she got taught from the toe tappers, and they were the first ones in that video to speak up about what happens if a paranormal investigator gets caught cheating or faking. And they were the first ones to jump up and answer the question. Oh, it gets around word of mouth. Then they got Ken DaCosta, who's known Cody since Cody was 15 or 16. Andrea Perrin knows them since they were knee high to a grasshopper, as she says in the video. So you got all these people who got some kind of bullshit fake drama with themselves coming to someone who has a mental illness and is learning a new business. And I firmly believe they all just took advantage of that. They took advantage of that. And to the people who keep saying Jason Hawes got brought into it because Jacqueline called him to fix the plumbing. No, Jason Hawes got involved in this because his daughter ran to him like a little baby instead of being a grown up and said, here's what's going on at work, Daddy. Get the fuck out of here. You're a grown ass woman. So stop thinking, to the people sending me hate, that you know everything. Watch a video and watch the whole fucking video. Watch it all. And I don't have much more to say except for stop believing stuff, like Karen said, without doing your research. Don't just trust us people who come on the internet and dig for information and give you the information. Try and do it yourself and see what you come up with. It's not hard to find anything on the internet. People are like, how did you debunk Cody Satori at Rolling Hills Asylum? Because I looked up the owner's information. I looked one more thing up from a picture, and then I found out who her dad was. The same way Cody Satori knows how they did it. Or was the owner in on it with them? Who knows? The whole family was there. Jason Hawes was there. Jay was there. Nobody sees that. But there was a picture on her page where they all were there filming on separate nights, but they were all there together. So, you know. But I understand that Cody and Satori need bodyguards, but it's not because of Jacqueline. They've needed bodyguards supposedly since they got debunked, which I've never seen no hate comments on mine. I've never seen them share the hate comments that they say that they're getting, you know? So I don't know. I just want the whole point of this live, and this was supposed to be a video I was putting together, was for people to at least change one mind and understand that Jacqueline Nunes is sick. She has a mental illness. She does not know what she is doing. So have some compassion for her. Go read the reviews and see how much better the reviews got since the old staff left. Compare the reviews. It doesn't matter what business you own or whatever. You can have 1,000 reviews, and there's going to be some bad ones. You could be a business owner that doesn't have mental illness, and you just had a bad day, and I heard you swearing on the phone or something, or yelling at your staff or something. So stop believing everything here on the internet. Don't believe me. If you question something I'm saying, go look it up. Inbox me, ask me where I found it, ask me who I talked to, and I will put you in touch with those people. You know, but dig a little bit deeper. Don't go just what people say. Don't do it because they were on TV. Well, they're not on TV no more for a fucking reason. And that reason's going to come out really soon as Critical Sam gets this video done. So, Laura, do you have anything you would like to say? I think we lost Tara. There she is.
Her microphone's off.
Any questions, Laura?
I agree with everything that you guys were saying. It's just, I didn't say much because of the audio issue.
It sounds good now.
It sounds good now.
It? Okay, because, I can't even hear. I don't know. It was screwing up. I don't know what was going on. No, I agree with everything you guys have been saying. Again, you can see that there's a mental issue. Because you've been watching, you watch all of it, you see what's going on. And even with Jason, what he's saying and describing, it pointed. That's the one thing I first said. Does this woman have a mental issue? Has anybody had her checked? Is anybody finding out anything about this? And then when Angelina got in touch with Tara, it come out that yes, she does. Yes, people knew about it, and I agree. I think he's playing off of it. I think they're after the property. To be honest with you, that's my opinion. Because why else would they be doing what they're doing? I think that Cody and Satori want the property so that they can use it as a cash cow. And the only way they could do that is to get rid of Jacqueline.
Yeah.
And
yeah, Jason did want it in the beginning, but he says he doesn't want it.
Right. All right. And bottom line is right here. If we're all wrong, then we're wrong. Okay. But too many things point to this for it to be wrong. And also, not for nothing, we're not saying this to be mean or to be bullies or bashing on Jason. Come on a show, Jason. Let us interview you. You get your side out. Prove what we're saying is wrong or prove what you're saying is correct. Simple as that. Otherwise, stop putting the videos out. What are you gaining by putting out the videos? They keep claiming that they're there. They're doing it to help people. Who are you helping?
Certainly not Jacqueline.
All I see is that it's an attention grabber. It's building up his channel. And I mean, because it's amazing. He just started the channel and it's outrageous. The views and the support he's getting, all because of the Conjuring House drama.
Yeah.
And people thrive on drama.
They do, unfortunately.
And unfortunately, this woman, she's mentally ill. Then it's a bullying. You're bullying her, and you're taking advantage of her because she's sick.
Yeah.
So you got a problem, and like Karen said, she's texting you. Block it. Take it to the police. This is all a police and court issue. It's a private issue. Why is it on YouTube?
Because Katori Empire brought it to YouTube.
Yeah, well,
Jason
doesn't need to be here. This is not the place for that.
It is not the place for that. It's not, and it's just like, come on, like, what the fuck? I have been attacked by that clique and accused of threatening and had the police call my house. And I just found out that I can take action because my phone number was given out without my permission. So if I wanted to, I could sue Cody and Satori because I know how they got my phone number. And no, it's not because Tara told me. I knew how they got my phone number the day that the police called me. Right. But I don't have time to go fight some bullshitters because I just don't. But it's just got to stop. You're absolutely right, Laura. You're absolutely right. Preach it, girl.
Yeah, it has to stop. It's just ridiculous. It's a private matter. It doesn't need to be on here. It was a private matter from day one when they did all that stuff for Brian.
Yeah.
It was private. That has nothing to do with the paranormal, the history of the Conjuring House. That's what all of this stuff is. This is what the community is paranormal, debunking. I'm not going to bash the debunkers. They're trying to do their job as well. But, some of them need to open their eyes. Jason is pulling the bullshit over everybody.
Yeah.
It's really disappointing because I used to enjoy watching him in his programs. But, like Angelina said, his daughter is a grown woman. I get it. He's a father. He wants to protect her. That's wonderful. That's what any parent would do. But there's a point where the parent needs to say, listen, you need to stop doing what you're doing because you're pulling me into something I don't want to be involved in. So straighten up and fly right. I've always told my son that.
The problem is, Laura, though, Jason did say he believed it. I've seen him talk about it. He said, and I'll have to find it, but I've seen the video. Angelina may have seen it too. He's talking about their method, and he said his words were something along the lines of, "I've seen them do it, and I can tell you that if it's fake, I don't know how they're faking it. To me, it looks."
Because he's tried every possible way and cannot debunk it.
Yeah,
But yet
that's
your
it.
daughter
So
calls herself a human Ouija board, but in
I
the
can do it
video
right now.
but in the video he says, I don't
he
believe
does.
anybody can be a human Ouija board, but
Yeah.
only your daughter can.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
this is the type of debunker I am. I bring out the inconsistencies. For me, the inconsistencies shows that someone is a liar. So to me, a liar is not to believe about anything. If you lie, I don't believe you about a fucking thing. I almost
Yeah.
said fucking. I don't think
Oh,
you can say that. Not quite sure. I bet you if I take my blood pressure right now, it's like,
right.
Yes,
but
You know,
careful.
truth is
yeah,
truth. You're supposed to teach your children how to, be decent, productive people in society. And him standing up for her like this is just way, way beyond. I'm sure any of you out there have had children. You tell your children, listen, this is how it goes. If you're going to do this, you're going to pay the price for it. I always told my son, don't get in trouble, because if you're going to jail, you're going to jail, because I got no bail money. So if you're going to play the game, you're going to pay the price. This is the bottom line.
if you're gonna play the game, cover your tracks, because none of them are covering their tracks. Like there's again, and I've said it since the beginning. There's so much shit I know and have evidence and proof of, and I don't say so much because if I call one person out, it's going to hurt a lot of other people that had no clue. And I have to think about things like that. And some other debunkers don't think that far ahead. They just put out and not think about the people that are going to get hurt because somebody they know did something. That's
Right.
like me investigating with the G Team Paranormal and people saying, "Oh God, Battered the Bone has great credibility. They're great debunkers. They do their job." And here they go with G Team Paranormal, known for faking. We didn't know that until everything was set, but we went and I stayed on guard all night long and made sure that my camera caught everything and nothing was faked. So it shit happens, but it's just crazy. Just stop fucking picking on Jacqueline and understand that she has a mental illness. And if you can't be human, then go hide under a fucking rock.
I
Period.
think I have much more respect for Jason if he came forward now and said, "Hey, I hear what everyone's saying, and I've thought about it, and yeah, look, maybe you're right. I'm not going to make any more videos any more about this. I'm going to deal with it privately."
Exactly.
And that's the
Please.
whole point of this broadcast is to change at least one person's mind, if not more, and people talk about it. Hey, did you see that video? Did you see the former general manager? Did you see the stuff they kind of put together? A, B, C, matching up timeline. Like, just think about it, and just that's all I'm trying to do is say leave Jacqueline alone, and remember the town of Burville as you're trying to get a business shut down.
Yeah.
Remember the people who live there that need the money to come into their community.
Yeah, they need the
Remember
tourists.
that. That's how far I think. I'm so outside the box. It's like, come on, common sense. Common sense. Carl.
Yeah.
I keep hitting my mic. If anyone has any questions for Sarah or anyone on the panel before we go, because we're going to go in about 10 more minutes, put them in now. Laura, if you have anything you want to finish up saying, you go ahead. Then we'll bring Carl, and then we'll bring Karen, and then we'll end the show with Tara.
Okay.
Just that, hopefully everybody think before you do. Again, when you put stuff out on YouTube, people are going to pick it apart. That's what it's all about. But how about let's keep it to what we're doing? Paranormal stuff, true crime, history, all of these things that we do, the drama crap, the personal stuff. Leave it at home, guys. Just leave it at home, and just leave that woman alone until she gets the help she needs. And if it's a legal battle, then Jason and his family need to do the behind the scenes through their lawyers.
Yeah. Amen. Amen. And Sarah, this is Laura, the magazine I was telling you about, who is going to post that for you. So make sure you guys are following each other. Tara's a big Instagrammer.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't say big,
but she
Yes,
mostly uses Instagram.
her statement has its own page. So
yes, she's
all set and ready to roll.
Yeah, all set and ready to roll. I made sure I asked her first because I thought if I can get Laura to put it out in her magazine, it's just going to reach more people, and I know that this live feed is going to be torn apart tomorrow. If not
yeah,
tonight,
we're all in
videos
trouble.
are going to start coming out. So if anybody gets any hate your way, I apologize. But we all know if you're part of the internet in any social media platform and you have a little bit of notoriety, it just comes with the game and you can't take it personally.
Yep.
Just say it's whatever. That's your opinion.
Tara's gonna be like, "What the hell did I get myself into?"
Move along.
Morning.
Just tell me, okay, thanks. Move along. That's it.
Carl, you want to bring yourself
plug
up?
myself in so my phone doesn't die. I'm like, oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Laura on all that. The drama, this crap's got to quit. If it was a true email that came, they should be talking privately between themselves. Don't bring that out into the public unless you've got unless you're wanting to buy the Conjuring house. That's the way I take it in that video. That's all they're wanting to do. This should have just been kept privately between them. See, I don't know Jacqueline, or anything like that personally. I know a little bit about the Conjuring house and stuff like that. But that video was just totally uncalled for. All the way out. If she's got the mental issues, the mental health issues that everybody's talking about, we've got to help people like that. We've got so many of them out there. Look at our veterans. 22 veterans die each year from suicide. They have mental health problems, PTSD. We've got to all step up. If this lady needs the help, tell her to reach out to us. We'll talk to her. I own the Bill of Rights Network. That's what all my hosts over there do and everything. If anybody has any problems, you contact us and talk, But the drama, you look at it this way. I was talking about this on one of our other paranormal shows the other night after the show was over. What was the big drama before this one started? Do y'all remember?
Well, yeah.
Waverly Hills? Right? How long did that one last? 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years? Yeah. It was drama. It was on all the paranormal podcasts everywhere. As soon as that one got over with, it just got over with like 3 months ago. So there had to be another big drama in the paranormal world. It's getting out of hand.
We're opening
really
one person's mind so far. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. But no, you girls, I've been listening and everything and learning more about this situation. And I'll tell you, it's bad they're bullying her the way they are.
Yeah. Yep.
And Carl is a long time paranormal investigator. How long have you been doing this, Carl?
Well, I've been doing this actually as a paranormal team for 8 years now and everything. And I have met since getting into paranormal field, I've met so many real good paranormal teams. I've met some bad ones. I've met teams that, we're going to get a TV show. We're going to get a TV show. So that's the way they represent themselves. I don't associate with them whatsoever, because it's not about getting a TV show. It's about getting out there and seeing what you can experience and what you can get other people around you to experience. And also on top of that, when you get with, like, we're going to Ashmore Saturday over in Illinois.
I know, I'm so mad at you.
Well, we've got paranormal people coming. I live 50 miles north of Kansas City. So we go to Ashmore. Me and the paranormal pastor go to Ashmore. Okay, you got David Glidden out of Joplin from Haunting History. Four State Paranormal, he's coming up. Charles Fort from Kansas City is coming up. Denise and Ron Pridemore from Florida are coming up. Susan and Mike Roberts from Springfield, Missouri are coming up. So it's a meeting of all the friends that we haven't seen for a year or so, getting together, having a good time, and doing some paranormal investigation to see what we can get. I've been to Ashmore. This will be my fourth time. Going.
Tell Robin I said hi, and I will promise to get there one day. I know I only lived an hour away at one time, but I will get there.
But yeah, but that's what it, and like I said, the drama's got to quit. It's really got to quit. So
thank you, Carl. Guys, go make sure you follow Carl at Rumble at Born TV. Rumble at Born TV.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you came in here tonight. All right. I am going to bring up Karen and then get her final words, and then we'll bring up Tara with her final words. So, guys, if you have questions for Tara, get them ready.
Yeah, I think obviously it's just my opinion on it all. And you've got to be careful because a lot of people are litigious and like to sue and do things like that. But
Sue me, I'm broke. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm broke too. So what are you going to do? But I think honestly, it's all come to a point where it doesn't look good for the people that continue to bash her. For people who believe what's coming from the people showing the emails, and saying, oh, we're being, we've had to put a cease and desist and and she still contacts us. Like I said, block, spam, she's not turning up at your front door. And even if she did, you just call the police. You don't need to put it out there unless there's a reason you're putting it out there. The only reason I see is for gain of some description. And I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. My gut tells me there's something not right. And for Jacqueline to be getting all these messages from people, like there's some people in the chat, I'm reading a few comments about people saying, oh, well, she's taking their money and they might be paying and there might be some issue in them getting a refund, but I'm sure it will happen. And I'm sure that, she is running the business to the best of her ability, but at the moment, her ability is limited because of her illness. And I don't know, Tara would possibly, but I don't know who's there in the background helping her run things from a business perspective or a refund perspective. It'll get sorted out. People can follow the correct pathways to get their money back. But doing what's happening at the moment to her is not helping the situation. It is feeding the illness. And it's, why send someone a death threat? Or why I've read some of the very nasty things that were put months ago now, granted, because I've tried to keep away from it, but really nasty comments put to her. And because she talks to animals, like, hello, has anyone ever seen me go crazy when I see a squirrel? Like,
yeah.
Like I talk to animals. Who doesn't
Yes,
talk
she does.
to
And plants. She talks to plants too.
That's it, Karen. You're a nut.
Watch out, guys. I'm insane because I talk to animals. Send me a threat. Do you know what I mean? It's just really nasty. And I think I just need to ram home exactly what Carl said and what I said before. Yes, you can hear us giving our opinions. That's what they are, opinions. With Angelina, it's opinions based on fact, receipts that she has. With Tara, it's opinions based on her experience working there with Jacqueline. And look, she could be going, oh my God, she said I stole money. Sure, she said that, but Tara knows she didn't steal money and nothing will ever come of that because she didn't steal money. It's come from the mouth of a lady who's not well and probably being told by God knows who in the background that that's what's happening. To hold, Tara has said they held a Zoom meeting. The previous employees held a Zoom meeting with the new employees and said, for your own safety, don't work for her. Leave now. I mean, that's really not good. That's tampering with someone's business from the sidelines. So all I'll say is listen to what we've said. You don't have to believe us. You don't have to agree with us. But also listen to what they say and don't necessarily take their side. Don't take anyone's side. Listen and investigate. Look it up yourself. Make up your own opinion on what's going on, but ultimately send good thoughts to Jacqueline so she gets well again. And the Conjuring house will always be there unless something happens, like, a bushfire or something, God forbid. But just send good thoughts. Be positive on this lady. Don't send negative hate messages. Don't say she's ripping off people, because she's not doing it on purpose. And I'm sure those people in the end will get their money back. And I just think make your minds up yourself. Listen to what we say, but ultimately look into it more yourself and draw your own conclusions, but don't send hate to anybody. Everyone's allowed an opinion. And so long as you're nice when you give your opinion and state it on fact that's presented to you, you should be okay. And I just really wish that Jason Hawes and the rest of them would stop and just come forward and say, hey, you know what? We've listened to the feedback and we understand that a lot of people think we might be doing this to whatever. So you know what? I'm going to listen to the feedback and I'm never, ever going to comment on this again. We're just going to look after it in the background ourselves. And end of story, let's send Jacqueline love. Because you can't say, we're really worried about her mental health and we just want her to get the help she needs when you're bashing her. It's like what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like contradiction. We really care about her, but did you know what she said about us? She's nuts. Like that's really caring about someone. That's feeding it. So that's, I guess, I don't know. I think I've made myself clear, haven't I, Angelina?
And I appreciate you being here, because between you and Laura and Carl and Central Mass Paranormal, you guys have always supported me, and I always bring what I find out to you guys to get your advice and your opinions, and you guys help me to dig harder and more, and you guys are so very supportive all the time, so I really, really appreciate it. I really, really do. So guys, if you have questions for Tara, bring her up. Carl, we're going to bring up Tara and get her final thoughts.
Bye, everybody. I'm here, but bye.
I love that Carl's here. I don't got to touch the buttons.
Keep her away from the buttons.
Yeah, keep me away.
I love it the way you say buttons. You're like buttons.
I get made fun of so far. Someone said the other day, Angelina, what do you fish with? I'm like, worms. They're like, what? I'm like, worms. To me, it sounds like whatever. Go, girl. Just. And let's get Tara's final thoughts. What do you want to see happen for Jacqueline?
So,
for people to understand.
Well, first of all, I want people to understand that Jacqueline is not an evil person. She is not possessed. She is not a con artist. She is not doing this to, create some sort of movie deal, TV show, whatever. I know that 100% for a fact.
She does.
I think that the best course of action for Jacqueline is that someone, a family member, a loved one, I don't even know. I don't even know if she has anyone that would be willing to come forward. But someone comes forward as a conservatorship for her. Make sure that she is okay. Make sure that the business is running appropriately the way that it should be. And just, watches out for her as a human being. And then secondarily the business. I mean, I love the Conjuring house, but I cannot imagine seeing someone who owns it being tortured the way that I feel like she is by her illness right now. So, my best case scenario would be there's some sort of conservatorship that comes in, takes over, all of the legal business, is allowed to read the mail, is allowed to do the day-to-day paying the bills, that sort of thing, and allows Jacqueline to still, live there temporarily and, enjoy the property the way that it's meant to be.
Yeah. Well, I thank you, Tara, for being here, and I thank you for answering my message when I first reached out to you, and I thank you for everything. I thank you for caring for Jacqueline. Like, it's about time that we've heard from somebody who cares for a human being and sees beyond what's really going on and doesn't show hate and things like that. So, again, I think you are her angel. I hope that when she's done going through what she's going through, that she reaches out to you, or I'm going to pray for it. You know, I mean, I'm always saying I'm praying, but it has been very refreshing to hear a different opinion, and very saddening to hear that the former staff tried to get the next bunch of staff to leave. That's very saddening. That's very sad. But they didn't tell none of us that. So I appreciate your honesty, and I even asked Tara a question earlier, and I asked her because somebody had said that 80% of the reason why they left is because Jacqueline was jealous of everybody and jealous she didn't have abilities. And one day she got up and said, I'm going to do it all by myself. And I asked Tara about it because I was going to call this person out. And she said, Jacqueline did get like that, or was like that, if you want to re-explain that to him. She's not just sticking up for Jacqueline because she has a mental illness. She is also agreeing with some of the things that went on with the past employees. Am I right?
Yes. I think that there's a certain amount of, I don't want to say jealousy, because I don't think that's the right term for her, but, when there were guests that had like a really great experience at the house and I would tell her about it, she would feel maybe left out and then maybe jealous. Sort of feeling like she was more entitled to what the house had to offer than what the other guests got to experience. And I attribute that to the illness. I think any good business owner or, person in their right mind would be thrilled to have people coming onto their property and having the best time that they possibly could. And the fact that she didn't recognize that made me think that there was something else going on. So,
well said.
It's a bummer.
Well said. Well, I know that you are going to keep doing what you're doing. I know people are going to reach out to you if Jacqueline's having those days. I hope and pray that this week gets better for her. Again, like I said, Jason Haas didn't beat nobody to the punchline because Tara has known about this for the past couple of days, what's been going on. She knew about the incident with the people that were there, and she was so devastated and upset and concerned about Jacqueline. She reached out to me, but I didn't go jump on the internet and tell all the business and call Jacqueline out or bring Jacqueline up in any way. So it's nice to see somebody honest and caring, and I appreciate you. And all of you better appreciate her, or I'm going to kick everyone's ass.
I feel like baking a cake, giving it to Tara and saying, drive over there and give her the cake. I just think if a lot more people showed up for Jacqueline in a kind way, rather than being nasty about it, it would help her get it would help. Again, speaking from experience, it does help to take away the negative and put more positive there. And I think, I used to be someone who go, oh, pray, what for? But you know what? It kind of, I don't know who you're talking to when you do it, God knows, but it does work. So if everybody sends positive thoughts and positive things Jacqueline's way, and we know that Tara is there. So when Tara's ready, if she feels like she can knock on the door again and check on her, she will, and she'll take her a cake from me.
And I want to make clear that for the folks that have planned events there, that have wanted to go there and do certain things, especially coming up on the Halloween season, I don't know what's going to happen. And it breaks my heart to think that some of these events that people have planned out and are special may not happen the way that they're supposed to happen, or they may not go down the way that they hope that they would. I want to make sure that, my positivity towards Jacqueline and her mental health does not negate the fact that there are people that have made plans that I think are not going to work out great. And I don't think that's okay one bit. And, I worry about that. But, overall, I want good wishes towards Jacqueline. I wish all of the people that go to the Conjuring House for different events, hopefully the events work out the way that they're supposed to. And if they don't, I don't have much sympathy towards that. I just, I don't know how to balance that. So
I know.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think you did great. I think all of you are awesome. Again, Tara, I want to thank you for trusting me first and foremost, because Tara has told me things and shared things with me that I have not told anybody. I can be trusted, unlike some other people out there. And I appreciate that. I appreciate your loyalty and trust. And I hope we continue talking. I hope we can figure out something to help Jacqueline. I know I have a friend coming up from Boston this weekend, and I think we might take a ride out there. Even though I might get turned away, or she might be in a bad mood, at least if I see her, I know she's okay. Hey, it's worth the hour drive, Maybe I'll bump into you and the Conjuring guy, Justin, and I'll give you guys a call, because Susan's coming this weekend. So maybe we'll take a trip. So I appreciate it. I appreciate your honesty so much with Jacqueline. I really hope people see this in a different light now, instead of Jacqueline's an evil, crazy person, because she is not. And I'm going to share a piece of information a lot of people don't know. Nobody knows. My uncle has worked for Jacqueline's realty business as a construction person for almost 20 years. And when he saw a video, when my cousin saw a video of me talking about the Conjuring House, my uncle reached out and says, "She is a wonderful, wonderful lady. Don't you say nothing bad about her." For my own family. And I trust my family with my life. And this is an uncle who I have not talked to in quite some time, and wanted to tell me about how good of a person Jacqueline is. So I hope this touches a lot of people. I hope people share this, and I hope people stop listening to the bullshit, because it's getting pretty fucking deep, and I don't have a shovel big enough anymore. So I'm sorry I didn't put out a video. I just felt that this would be a better way to do it, because my thoughts were everywhere. And I want to thank all of you guys for coming up. I know I was over here on the side saying, do you want to join? Because you guys make me feel more comfortable in doing what I do. You guys are the interviewers and hold the podcast. I'm not that great at it, but sometimes. So other than that, I don't see any questions. Tara, let's keep in touch. Normally I would say let's all stay on and talk after the show, but it is 11 o'clock. I am on a regime because
And
of
you
my
need
heart.
rest. Yep.
So I need to rest. I'm feeling it right now. So again, thank you all for being here. Guys, in the comments, please share this out. Please share it out. And if anyone takes this video tomorrow and takes it apart and has anything bad to say or doesn't put in stuff and makes it look bad, I'm going to fucking come for you. I'm going to call you out all over the fucking internet like dirty fucking underwear. Because I got shit on everybody. Everybody. I got shit on everybody involved. You would not believe. Well, I think I've shared a lot with Laura and Doof. I got a lot. So again, everything here is my opinions or facts. I have shown the evidence. I have shown the proof. I have said my opinion. I have said alleged whatever I had to say. Thank you, Susan. So other than that, guys, I'm going to outro out and let's do this again.
All right. Love you guys.
Thank
Night,
you.
everybody.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye,
Night.
guys.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. But the only thing in life that has meaning are the things you gotta work for, believe me. Take into your hands a plan. Your own hands can land your own brand. And damn, I feel like no one takes accountability. They want the credibility, convincingly unwilling to put in the fucking hours it takes to get some power. Don't be fucking sour. Take a cold shower. Scream until you're louder. Work until you're prouder. And fuck all the doubters. They're just fucking downers. I swear to God they all let me down. I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm pissed off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.